gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Nerd Eye Council.
We're back, bitches! The Joker was here. Welcome. We are live right now on Facebook Live. Is that what you call it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm watching this.
I'm not the world's biggest Facebooker, but here I am, Facebook. Apparently I am now. Say hi to the camera. We're famous now.
We famous.
So we are recording the beginning of the show on Facebook Live for all of you, and we're going to do a little bit of a official like Spider-Man review, and then go from there with the podcast.
All right.
So, Spider-Man.
What?
Opening weekend Spider-Man, $270 million almost.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a win. They knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, definitely.
Already talking about Spider-Man 2, Homecoming 2, whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah.
What is it we were talking about last week after the podcast about the future of Spider-Man?
Theorizing that Spider-Man was going to be... Oh, right. So, theorizing that Spider-Man was going to be the new...
Yes.
Leader or the new forefront of
the
Avengers. Correct.
Let's not get overwhelmed here.
He's gonna be the leader. He's gonna be wearing his Iron Spider suit, and he's gonna be telling Hulk, "Not now, Hulk."
Oh yeah, right.
We do know we're coming to the end of this phase for Marvel for the cinematic universe, and like we were talking about after the podcast last week, we might have said something on the podcast about the comments Kevin Feige made about Spider-Man being the future of the Avengers, and how does that play out in contrast with the whole Venom verse? That is he going to be a part of that too? Like we were talking about after the podcast, he kind of has to be. First and foremost, because there is no Venom without Spider-Man.
Right.
So how do you tell that story?
Maybe they're keeping the secret
With Tom fucking Hardy.
Civil War.
Maybe they're just like, fuck telling the story. We got Tom Hardy. Don't matter.
Yeah. Unless they do a kind of like at the beginning where they showed like somebody in a Spider-Man suit, but it's not Tom Holland, and then you see like the Venom symbiote kind of, cover him, and it was kind of like some exposition at the beginning. It's like, but Spider-Man got him off or something like that, and then he kind of crawls away.
Marvel's like, we'll let you use his image, but you're not allowed to make Spidey talk, you dumbasses.
Right.
We control his mouth. Yeah, I could see something like that. I don't know. I think it's really interesting how they're keeping everyone in the dark.
Unless they're kind of go the route of what they did for Spider-Man, where they didn't even do an origin story. Everybody's going to know where Venom came from.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that too at the end of the podcast.
And they can just kind of go off that way. And if they are introducing Carnage too, so maybe they'll kind of show that at the beginning.
Well, like they did in Homecoming, they didn't show the origin story. No need to. We kind of talked about that, but they brought it up, kind of in casual conversation, and explained things about the spider bite and whatnot.
Right.
In Homecoming, and they could do something like that possibly to explain the origin story of Venom.
Right.
But since we're talking about Homecoming, let's talk about Homecoming. This is our official review of Spider-Man Homecoming. We loved it. Nate and I loved it. All the other opinions don't really fucking matter. They're not the council. Bracket, not so much.
It's taken him a week to come around.
Right. In true Ralph form. 1 week later, I get in the car with him. He's like, dude, Spider-Man did rock.
It was alright.
And I was like, yeah, I know.
It was alright.
It's alright.
This motherfucker actually went out. Oh, am I allowed to curse on Facebook?
Yeah.
I just did!
Yeah, fuck it, who cares?
We cursed a lot, so maybe we're not meant for Facebook Live, but
Alright.
but Ralph went out and bought some Spider-Man toys,
Action figures, buddy. Action figures.
which we will be talking about more about Ralph's action figures as the podcast goes on, because I have a funny little story I want to ask you about. I love it when I get to spring shit on you on the podcast. But you went out and you bought, what'd you buy? Tell the viewers.
I don't remember. 3 figures, Build-A-Figure, Vulture.
But there are collectors out there.
Spider-Man, and what's the one Spider-Man before he became Spider-Man?
Old school
Spider-Man.
Pajama Spider-Man.
Pajama pants
What's
Spider-Man.
he doing in the, is he posing or?
Yeah, they're like posing and shit.
What's the
Pretty
Spider-Man, what's he doing, the pajama one?
cool. They're all posing. You can pose them and shit.
I'm guessing that's probably going to be a popular one.
It's on eBay for like $50.
So they're really.
Yeah.
And the Vulture you were telling me is the build.
Yeah, it's a build.
You have to buy
You gotta
every-
buy different figures.
That's fucking
to build his
genius.
wings.
Yeah, that's how they do
I
it.
wasted $30 on one figure that I wanted.
But see, they target people like you because you're gonna do it. You're gonna go out and you're gonna collect it because you can't stop at one.
What do you mean, you people?
You people! I thought it was interesting when you told me that Vulture was the build character. Because why not Spider-Man? That kind of proves how much Keaton hit it out of the park. That they took the Vulture and made that character the big.
Build a figure.
Yeah, you gotta buy every character in order to have the Vulture. You know you want the Vulture.
I do want
the
the Vulture.
I'm not
Michael
even a
Keaton.
collector of toys. Action figures. Sorry.
It's a pretty cool figure.
But I would collect Vulture. I would collect
you
certain.
should, dude. It's
If
fun.
I had money, send me money. Facebook. I need to start a collection. Can we start a, what do they call that?
GoFundMe page.
Go fund my new
They're
addiction.
gonna be like, go fuck yourself.
It's either that or crack. You decide, Facebook.
And quack is getting expensive now.
Quack kills, they say. I don't know.
Oh, my quack cocaine.
Not murder, but manslaughter.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. That's right.
It's been 2 years.
So, let's talk about the movie for a moment. Shit we liked, and let's even try to find shit we didn't like. Which for me is difficult. I liked that movie a lot. I like that my son is now a big-time actor. I'm waiting for that money to funnel down to me. Matter of fact, my son is going to see Spider-Man tonight. He's super psyched about it. Him and like five or six of his 14-year-old friends are going to see Spidey, and he's like, finally.
He's gonna look at it like, damn, I look good.
Right? He's gonna be looking at his friend like, yeah, you like that?
You like that, Jimmy?
For the record, my son is not Tom Holland.
Obviously, bro.
Why not? But he's Tom Holland's spitting image.
He looks like him.
We were just kind of talking about music for the intro, and we were talking about the soundtrack a little bit. How much that soundtrack kicked ass, although I don't remember any of the songs on it. I just remember I liked it. Of course, and you guys can jump in at any time, but we loved the Vulture. We talked about that last week.
One of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally, Marvel found a great villain.
Yeah, a memorable villain.
That's right. And didn't kill him off. And hinting at he's coming back. Strong hints.
Michael Keaton.
I'm at this point now, like, if he doesn't come back, I'm pissed.
Now, it's funny you bring that up because as of right now, Michael Keaton was only signed up for that movie.
I thought that was a weird ending. I really did. The way they...
Now, that doesn't mean that he's not going to come back. He may say, you know what, I want to do the second one.
Right.
If they are doing what we think they're doing, and they're going to do a Sinister Six movie.
Huge spoilers. We're gonna spoil the fuck out of this movie. A week later, if you haven't seen it by now,
what is wrong with you? Exactly. I would say, what is wrong with you?
It's a great movie. Go see it. make Marvel richer and Disney.
Make Marvel great again.
That's right.
Even though they're
Do what
already
Trump
great.
says.
Even though I hate that son of a bitch, but whatever.
Not gonna go there.
And you can take that to the bank.
It's like, I got my moment, I'm gonna say it. I hate that fucking president. No more politics at that point.
Delete!
Can we delete that? No, Steve, hence the live part.
But yeah, I mean, they could.
Yeah, I'm alive.
They can.
My sister. I show Steve's not on Facebook.
No, he's like,
what the fuck is it?
let's Facebook Live.
We're gonna find out this week that Steve is the world's biggest Facebook user. What the fuck was up with that? I saw that shit. Like, Steve, you're on social media? I created Facebook.
Mark Zuckerberg, fuck that guy.
So I keep track of all you minions. Oh, fuck, what were we talking about?
But I think, if they really are doing a Sinister Six movie, then they're gonna have, he'll be back.
So the way that they left it at the end is they left the door open to bring Keaton back, and I didn't figure he had a multiple movie deal. I mean, we kind of would have heard that, but I think they left that door open to negotiate with him if they want to use him again.
Right.
He got put in jail. He got put in prison at the end. Spider-Man foiled him, put him in prison, and in prison you see who we are pretty positive is the Scorpion.
Yeah.
And they could maybe that was them opening the door to use him as the new villain, and maybe Keaton comes back, or maybe the whole Sinister Six.
Well, he did. The character's name is Gargan. His last name's Gargan. It's like Martin Gargan or Max Gargan or something like that, and he has a giant scorpion tattoo on his neck. So that was if you followed some of Spider-Man's villains, that's a red flag right there. That's Scorpion. Right. But he did say that he has friends waiting on the outside that also want a piece of Spider-Man.
Sounds like the Sinister Six.
Yeah, but it also sounds like it's already established characters too. Mm-hmm. Like they're ready to. Spider-Man has foiled them in one way or another.
Somehow.
Or else, why would they have this grudge?
Right.
So then that leaves it open. We could see Mysterio finally in a movie. They haven't done him yet.
Right.
They could bring back Dr. Octopus, obviously Green Goblin, Rhino.
I wouldn't mind seeing
Shocker may make another appearance too because he kind of got knocked up.
I mean, they left him hanging in the movie.
Right. He got his ass kicked and then webbed to the side of a bus or something, and it was like that was it.
Right. So I could see him coming back as kind of a side.
Maybe with upgraded armor or something.
Right. I would like to see a Doc Ock, another version. I know. You're right. Totally. I was thinking that last week when we were talking about it. They need to do Rhino right, since they did Rhino so poorly. Right.
He was barely in the movie. I mean, I thought Paul Giamatti would have.
Was a great character.
Was a great
actor for the character.
Right. They just kind of left him at the end of the movie. You really didn't see a lot of him.
But the look of the Rhino threw me off. I did not like that.
What about Kingpin? Is he more Daredevil or is he Spider-Man?
He's more of a Daredevil. I mean, he's had run-ins with Spider-Man.
I could see them bringing him into.
And of course they they both exist obviously in New York.
Right.
But
I don't really want to see another Goblin. I think the Goblin character needs a break.
Who's the other Goblin? Hobgoblin? Or what the hell?
Well, yeah, there's the Green Goblin, and then there's the Hobgoblin.
I meant
pumpkins, right? Didn't he have something with pumpkins?
Yeah, it was more pumpkins. It was a kind of a tannish cloak,
with the orange
and he was more of a weapons dealer, a weapons expert. He didn't have the Goblin serum or whatever.
Yeah, I meant more like the Green Goblin.
Well, right.
Basically because Willem Dafoe just nailed that. I mean, it's hard to top that. And every time we say, Jack Nicholson was the opening intro to the music today, every time you say they can't fucking do any better than that. There will never be a Joker greater than Jack. There will never be a Joker better than Heath Ledger. There will never be a Joker better than Mark Hamill. I mean, they just keep topping themselves. So I guess if they do it right, the Green Goblin is like Spidey's kind of main nemesis.
Is that his Joker?
I guess. I've always kind of looked at it that way.
that's kind of a...
But yeah, Willem Dafoe did such a great job with that character. And seeing his son do such a subpar with the character. It's kind of like, I'm burnt out on that character unless they do it right.
That was just kind of weird how they had James Franco.
Yeah.
That was before James
It was
Franco
before he kind of
became
blew
a-
up. Yeah.
Right before he got
Before
with
he
Seth
started
Rogen.
smoking weed, yeah.
Right.
I hate Seth Rogen. Fuck you, Seth Rogen.
I don't mind Seth Rogen. Facebook world, for the record, that's right.
I'm Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen, you can do the podcast with us anytime. Never mind this guy.
Fuck you.
This week, replacing Wreck-It Ralph, Seth Rogen!
Hi, guys. Seth Rogen.
But yeah, we love the movie very much, man. I think they finally got Spider-Man himself, this kid. They finally got that.
I've not heard one bad thing about Tom Holland's portrayal of, and I've seen a bunch of stuff on Facebook that says Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, Tom Holland is good at both.
Yeah, that's a pretty good assessment, actually.
Tobey Maguire was good at shit.
That's a pretty good assessment, actually. I never really liked the Andrew Garfield guy much as Spider-Man. I didn't care for the movies too much, so I kind of just judged him by the movies. But he was a good Spider-Man.
He was a good Spider-Man because
he made it funny and interesting when he was attacking people.
Right, and he got the quips down and the sort of semi-sarcasm.
That dude's a huge Spider-Man fan.
Right.
Growing up, so he says. But that's what Ben Affleck said about Batman.
And he also said that about Daredevil.
Yeah. It's like, we need you to say this.
I'm a big Daredevil fan.
My whole life, I've been dreaming of this moment. Where they would pay me $50 million to put on a suit.
He's got an earpiece and they're just telling him exactly what to say.
Ralph kind of touched upon something I think that needs mentioning, though, on the podcast. We were talking about Homecoming, and he's like, we were talking specifically about how good Tom Holland was. And Ralph was like, I don't know if it's just his voice or what. And when he said that, I was like, he does have the perfect... I think they fucking trained him in that voice. Because he's English. He's actually got an English...
He's from UK.
He's got a very British accent.
Yep.
And when you hear him on screen, it's like, hey guys, it's the friendly... it's that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man voice of, like, the youngster that's excitable and doesn't really know what the fuck's happening to his life. He's just on edge, and he nails that voice. Mm-hmm. He really does, which kind of brings out the whole character.
Yeah.
So good call. Good call, Ralph.
Thank you.
For a guy that didn't like the movie much.
I liked
you
the
nailed
movie.
it.
It was alright.
So yeah, we all did love the movie.
I liked it.
Shit we did not like about the movie. The MJ thing?
Now, I've actually read some about that, and I guess Kevin Feige says that that's not Mary Jane Watson.
So why the hell did
that was a mislead?
Yeah, I think that was a mislead. I guess Zendaya's character, who we find out at the end, my name's Michelle, but people call me MJ. He's like, yeah, we kind of thought that would be cool to put that in there to kind of like mislead people, but it's a totally different character.
Speaking of this subject, and speaking of being excitable, because we all know Jeremy can be excitable at times. It's the Steve inside of me that comes out.
Yeah, you do have Steve inside you.
What the fuck up? What's up with this girl with one name? Who is she? How is she? Zendaya. I don't understand why she gets one name. Every time I read a fucking article about Homecoming, it's Tom Holland and Zendaya possibly dating. Bitch, you gotta be somebody before you get one name.
She was on that one movie in the Disney Channel.
I don't care about the Disney Channel.
I care. I watch it. She was on.
We just lost a Disney partnership.
I was like, she must be like a rap singer. Is she like a rapper or something? No,
she's an actor.
No, she's just in those stupid ass Disney TV shows.
I like Disney.
Me too. They make Star Wars.
And Marvel.
I love Disney, even though they're the devil. But anyways, they know that. They don't need to be told every week. They know who they are.
They know that.
But yeah, it was weird, the whole MJ thing. Up to this movie, I heard many people going, what the fuck? That girl's not MJ, and she wasn't MJ. The daughter, spoilers, one of the biggest spoilers of the movie. One of the
big twists.
Yeah, one of the moments I loved the most
Yeah,
was the homecoming date he ends up going on,
with
the popular
right.
chick that he has a crush on, and it turns out to be
The Vulture's daughter.
Batman's daughter. Yes, Michael Keaton's daughter, and we're all like, "Whoa!" Did not see that.
Like, oh crap!
Which set up a really good. And I was kind of like hoping going into this movie, I hope
That
there's
they
some
kept
good.
it in there.
I hope there's some good back and forth dialogue between Spidey and the Vulture, because you have Michael Keaton, who's such a great actor. I hope they throw that in there and don't just waste it by making him a 5-minute character. And the scene, we've only seen it once, and I'm gonna buy this movie. I love this movie.
Oh yeah.
And that scene, I think, when we watch it over and over, I think I'll fall in love with that scene in the car.
Yeah, the one where
He's just sweating balls, and the chick is like giving out every bit of information.
Tom, I was like, "Shut up!
Fuck up!"
It was fun.
That was really well acted, because you see Michael Keaton figuring shit out while he's driving, and as he's figuring shit, he gets that.
Cool.
He gets that fucking
Little smirk.
that little smirk you saw in Batman every once in a while when he was figuring shit out. Like, oh, and then he toys with him a little bit. Like, why don't you go inside? We're gonna have
Give him the dad.
dad talk.
And if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they have a Batman line in that movie?
If they did, and I didn't catch it.
I want to say, or
it
it might have been something else, but I could have sworn that somebody at some point in the movie said, "What is it? You want to go nuts? Well, come on, let's get nuts. You want to get nuts? Yeah,
Yeah, I think you did.
I think somebody. I thought I remembered somebody saying that. I don't remember who, but I thought it was in the movie.
Crazy though, not nuts.
Want
wasn't
to
it?
go crazy?
I thought it was crazy. I thought
probably
it was,
somebody directing or whatever.
I thought it was in the
Remember that
warehouse.
scene in Batman when he...
Which
or if Batman never said it, and it's the Mandela effect.
Oh, shit. Coming soon to our podcast, a Mandela Effect episode is coming.
Please, dude.
It's coming.
Please, this is the reason why I signed up to do this.
I just want to talk about the end of the world. But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I would say that would be a perfect homage to obviously Michael Keaton.
Right. So the director is telling us to wrap it up. We're just basically going to throw our review out there real quickly and sum it up for y'all.
Ratings.
Go see the movie. Yeah, we're gonna give it a rating.
Right.
Go see the movie. It is by far the best Spider-Man movie.
Yep.
By far.
Well worth your money, whether it's $5, $6, or
And
$10,
it will get you
$10.50.
excited all over again about Spider-Man and what's coming. And like I said, we're gonna see more of him with the Avengers, which is really cool. That this is the new Spider-Man. I'm happy as shit that they finally figured it out.
I give it an 8.
Brackett's on board with an
Brackett's
8.
on
No,
board
I'll
with
give it
an
a
8.
9. I'm sorry.
I think collaboratively, 8.5 or a 9 somewhere in there.
I'll give it a 9.
I'm sticking with 9.
We'll give it a 9.
All right.
The Nerd Eye Console gives Spider-Man Homecoming a 9.
I give it.
Keaton is awesome. Keaton is awesome. That's my remarks I'll leave you with. Best villain in the Marvel Universe yet.
Yes.
And the MCU anyways.
Yeah.
And who knew? The Vulture. You know, of all the villains that they have to play with, who knew the Vulture would be so
Right,
kick-ass?
we've had Red Skull, we've had Loki, we've had a number of other characters, now Vulture, and Vulture is right there. If right there with Loki, if not overtaken Loki.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of forgot about Loki. I do like Loki a lot. And we're going to see Loki in Infinity War also.
Yep. And Thor.
Wouldn't mind seeing Michael Keaton make a little cameo. That would be cool in Infinity War.
Yeah, that would be kind of
cool.
awesome.
But hey, that's Nerd Eye Council, guys. Check us out on Facebook or YouTube. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on here, but we just did. And you can find us also on our website. It is nerdeyecouncil.weebly.com.
That sounds about right.
And other than that,
What?
peace out.
We boy.
All right, so at this point, we're going to continue on with the podcast. Facebook Live has ended. That was our first. Don't hate, don't judge. Probably our last. I don't know. We actually did a little bit of talk about maybe doing some of Facebook Live for the movie reviews right after we step out of the theater. That could be a cool forum to do that with.
Yep.
Thank God she's gone.
Oh God, that director with that camera in my face.
Oh my God, I can't keep putting on makeup.
I like the audio format. That's why we decided to do a podcast and not a TV show or something. But we're gonna do it more probably just to get our name out.
We're
there.
branching out.
Right, we're trying to.
We're
man.
expanding.
We're trying to reach you people on the World Wide Web.
Subscribe.
Please listen to us.
Comment,
You
like.
fucking assholes. You fucking Jew motherfuckers.
What? What's that?
All right, so this is a good moment, I guess, to talk about the contest, cause yeah, I had an idea for the contest for all of our listeners, and I thought it was a pretty good idea until it dawned on me that we don't really have listeners. Other than that, it's a great idea. So
It's like having
basically,
a grocery store without having groceries in it.
right. It's a beautiful building. It's just empty. That sums it up, doesn't it? This is a wonderful podcast that you're not listening to.
You gotta listen.
So yeah, I was gonna like snap a little bit and go off on the listeners a little bit since there's none of them anyways. And then Ralph was gonna tell me to calm down, settle down, and
Calm down, Jeremy.
all right.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Don't make me watch Wonder Woman again. I refuse.
It wasn't murder.
Just manslaughter.
You don't need men? Well, fuck you.
I think that might soon become our new slogan.
It wasn't man.
It wasn't murder.
It wasn't murder.
Just manslaughter. It's not murder, just manslaughter.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not mad though, you know what I mean.
Nerd Eye Council. It's not murder, just manslaughter.
Oh, Jesus.
I kind of like that. I do. I gotta admit.
That could have been a t-shirt.
And yeah, that could. That's t-shirt material.
And on the back have Black
Somebody write
Lives
that
Matter.
shit down.
On the black have put Black Lives Matter.
It's not murder, it's manslaughter. Black Lives Matter.
I gotta write that down.
Copyright by No Light Council. You are not allowed to take that.
That's our idea. Can't steal it.
That's our idea.
You can't do that, bro. That's mine.
That's Jeremy's.
I copyrighted that shit. He can't do that. Okay, anyways, we're going to talk about the contest. So, last week I was like, yeah, hey, all you listeners out there, for this week's contest, which we're going to postpone the contest. The idea was to have somebody, just one person at least, and that person would have been the automatic winner. That's how this works. That's how this works, people. We have so few listeners. You just got to do something, and you'll probably win. But the idea was, I posed a question, and there was no wrong answer for the winner of the contest. How does a Wookiee wipe his ass? And I thought it was pretty funny and could have brought out some creativity to all of the non-listeners we have. So anyways, that didn't work. So we're going to postpone the contest for now until we have shit to give away.
Yeah, so right
It's
now...
either going to be...
like, comment, share.
Right. We're still we're begging like bums
Subscribe.
in Chicago. Please.
We'll wash your window with
subscribe,
window paper.
like, guys,
Share,
it
comment.
will help out with so many things. Number one being morale. It just makes me feel better. Yeah, make us smile. Just hit the like button. It's not that hard. It's not hard at all.
Just type LOL, even if you're not laughing out loud.
Or just say fuck you guys, and I will laugh. We'll bring your name up on the podcast.
We're like,
Oh
aww.
my God, Spider-Man will wish he was you. I mean, you will be an international celebrity overnight. Just tell us to fuck off, bitches.
Give us some ideas for some podcasts that we can, that maybe you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. If there's something that you're like, man, I wish these motherfuckers would talk about this, we will. You just gotta say, please, just do it. Just tell us.
Or we will start talking about my colonoscopy.
Worse is coming if you don't do something. We're warning you now. This
It can only get worse from here.
It can get a lot worse.
A lot worse.
Yeah, that's our whoring out to you guys. Please like us, subscribe on YouTube or Facebook. Check out the live video we just did. It's our first, and tell us how fucking ugly we are. We should hire actors to do our Facebook Live.
We ugly as shit.
And we won't hire anybody. We'll just have somebody else do it for us if we're that ugly.
I want Michael Keaton to play my role. Hi, I'm Michael Well.
Steve could play me. Since he already knows the impression so well. But yeah, we're looking for some support and ideas, guys. Whatever you want to throw out there, we're listening.
Yeah.
We're about to, and the secretary is telling me that I need to make sure we get this out of the way. We're about to be off of Podbean. Shit's just too expensive, yo. You guys, we start making money on this podcast, we might like Podbean back up. But you can find all of our old episodes are still going to remain on Podbean. To my knowledge, I'll let you know if that changes. But we are moving solely to Facebook and YouTube. We just need a little bit of instruction on how to do it, and we're off and running. No, we got all of our videos on YouTube and Facebook right now, so it's the cheaper way to go. It seems to reach more people. So we're going to drop Podbean. This is our going away episode.
Yep.
Don't cry, Steve.
It's alright.
Do I gotta go to prison now? What do you mean going away episode? What do you mean, wow?
What?
Wow, there wasn't more. There was this one, wow.
What?
I'm innocent, wow, I'm innocent.
I looked both ways.
I didn't see him, wow.
I didn't see him. He kept walking.
I
honked the horn.
I don't even know if it was a wheel, if it was a figment of my imagination, wow. I was starting to think I didn't really kill anybody.
I thought I was hitting speed bumps, so I tried it 4 more times.
Drive, reverse.
Crushed his head. So yeah, we're ending Podbean. Find us on YouTube or Facebook. Also, our website. We're going to be adding more to the website. We've talked about that recently. Website is Nerd Eye Council. Don't forget the hyphen. nerdeyecouncil.weebly.com to find us on our website, and you can find out a little bit more about who we are that way and shit we're giving away or we're gonna start selling. We got ideas for t-shirts and
Sell a lot of weed.
notebooks and maybe weed down the road. Who knows?
Maybe we with the nerd idea.
I got a plan, guys. I know the podcast isn't working out, so
We're gonna put our logo on the baggie.
hey, it worked in that one movie.
Yeah, what movie was that?
Dave Chappelle.
Half-Baked. Half-Baked, yeah.
Yes.
Love that movie. Love that movie. When you guys hear Jeremy on the intercom going off, I just want you to know, run downstairs because I'm quitting. When you hear me on the microphone going, fuck you, fuck you, fuck
You're
you.
like, oh shit.
Wow, and Nate's cool. Fuck everybody else. I'm out.
Like, Nate, he's going crazy.
I'll see you guys running down the steps. Wait for us.
Wait, we quit too. Fuck you.
Fuck you all.
Fuck you all.
Yeah, we're
And you fucking shit.
Hey, you see the little logo I came up with?
Yeah, I see that. That's
like
pretty
that.
nice. What's
So,
knock mean?
by the way, I'll tell you more about it
Alright.
when we're not on the podcast. But so let's start talking about shit.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to announce this. This is a little. We're gonna start kind of branching off into little other things, segments and whatnot. We're gonna start talking about other shit like conspiracy stuff we love because you guys aren't listening anyway. So
it don't matter what the fuck
we
you
might
guys
as well
like.
talk about what we love,
Fuck you,
and if you guys don't like it, maybe that way we'll get you to comment finally. So we're gonna start kind of branching off with some other ideas. We all love conspiracies, truth videos, I should say, not conspiracy theories. I hate that fucking word.
The truth is out there.
That's right.
The world is flat.
The world according
Don't
to
make
Steve.
fun, man. Some of us believe that
I
shit.
believe I listened to a whole fucking thing today.
Kyrie Irving of the
Yeah, Kyrie
Cavaliers.
says it. It's gotta be true.
Gotta be true.
Where's my fucking 14-year-old? That's his own words. Dad, Kyrie said it. It's gotta be true. It's like, go back to school. Kid.
Right.
And he won a championship.
But I wanted to talk about this because you all know that Darth Payne loves Quentin Tarantino.
Mm-hmm.
Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie of all time. Guess what Tarantino just announced he's gonna do? Manson Family movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I thought they were going to say a Manson Family musical. That would have been awesome.
That's a pretty good idea.
We're stabbing.
Hey, we're copyrighting that. You can't steal that shit.
We're doing a Manson Family
We're gonna
musical.
put on a Manson Family musical.
From the
It's gonna
same.
be called The Sound of Murder.
And if that goes good, we're going to do the Manson Family on Ice.
First came Hamilton.
My
Now
teeth.
the new masterpiece, Manson, on Broadway.
My tires are alive with murder. Anyways, I thought that was a really fucking interesting idea. Like,
A Manson movie?
yeah, why has no one done this yet? First of all, I mean, Charles Manson,
Yeah, but you see on the History
fucked
Channel.
up dude, but fascinating.
Like
Fascinating. He looks like Doug. He does look like Doug.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Holy shit! That just blew my mind. Holy shit! Doug always kind of freaks me out. Now he freaks me out even more.
Got swastika on his eyebrows and shit.
Always see Doug at work and he's like, you know what I mean, right? That's a skelter, bitch. What? What do you say?
Skelter, man.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Doug. Wow.
Put the Black Panther symbol on the bathroom. Like, what the fuck, Doug? What is this?
He's,
Black Panther?
he's looking at you with those eyes wide open. He's just like,
Like, he didn't see shit, is he?
He's like, hey Ralph, you want to be my club? It's not really a club, it's more like a family. I'm the dad.
I'm not even commenting on that.
I'm going to hell. Right with Charles Manson.
We love you, Doug.
Yeah, Doug, we love you, dude.
You're the best.
Steve really loves you. But Tarantino is doing a Manson Family movie, and Samuel L. Jackson said, I'm in.
Is Charles Manson?
No.
no.
But that would be fucked up, wouldn't it?
Hey, motherfuckers! It's Charles Manson!
I don't care if I'm black or not.
I kiss a white bitch.
I'll kill some white bitches. Yeah, Sam Jackson is like, oh fuck yes, let me be involved.
He'll probably be a detective or something.
So he hasn't signed anyone yet to do the movie. But I was like thinking, wow, who the fuck could play Charles? Who's gonna play Charles Manson? And I'll tell you guys instantly.
Chris Hemsworth. Thor.
it always comes back to a Hemsworth. Any movie,
You're right.
any movie, Adolf Hitler, starring Chris Hemsworth.
I can see that shit.
I can see it too.
He's Aryan. He's got that perfect Aryan blood.
Or Chris Pratt.
Or Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
It always comes down to the three Chris's.
The
That's
three
the
Chris's.
Mandela effect shit
Yeah,
right
it
there,
is.
dude.
Chris Pratt.
Every fucking blockbuster movie is starring one of the Chris's.
Coming soon to theaters, Jesus Christ and Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, Jesus is playing Chris.
Right.
I gotcha.
He's just like, let me off this cross now.
Like, Loki, give me my hammer and I will destroy this cross.
By Odin's beard. What?
Ironically, I instantly was like, I could see the Joker doing that.
Jared Leto.
Jared
Yeah,
Leto.
he's got the fucked up eyes, dude.
Yeah, and when he grows his beard out.
Yeah, you ever see him with long hair and the beard?
Yeah, I can see that.
And he's got a twisted whatever, anyways.
Mm-hmm. But that would set him off, though. I think he does that movie.
He might die.
He might
like
die.
Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
They said he
If
went
he,
crazy.
yeah,
when he did Joker.
if he gets into
That's one
method
of those
acting.
movies, man, that I want to see. But as an actor, oh no, I don't want nothing to do with that movie.
I think they're trying to get Margot Robbie
Yeah,
to play in that too.
Probably, if you
Sharon
guys are
Tate,
not,
I
if you
think.
guys are not familiar, I know there's probably young people out there that are like, who the fuck is Charles Manson?
What? What's up, Nancy?
What?
You mean Marilyn Manson, right?
Manson.
I love that dude. 666.
Okay. You mentioned a Tarantino movie, Marilyn
About
Manson.
Marilyn Manson? He's like, well, I was going to do Charles Manson, and then I decided, no, fuck that.
The world wants Marilyn Manson.
Called Beautiful People.
Or you mean Paul Pfeiffer.
The beautiful people.
Remember that? You guys ever hear that?
What?
The kid from the Wonder Years was Marilyn Manson. You ever hear that rumor? Or was that
Ben?
No. Fife, the Fifester. What was it? Was
Fife?
it Paul? Paul Fife. Remember the Wonder Years, Kevin Arnold?
The guy with glasses?
Yeah, his friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
You remember that
I was
rumor?
thinking
I
of
think I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Do you remember his friend? Now
Yeah.
look at his friend in your mind's eye. Now picture Marilyn Manson. Dude, it's pretty close.
I was thinking of Growing Pains, my bad.
Oh.
Family Ties. Michael J. Fox is Marilyn Manson.
Oh, God.
Don't. I like Michael J. Fox.
I like Michael
We
J.
are
Fox,
not
too.
going there.
I love
I
Michael
draw
J.
the
Fox.
line there.
But nowadays, he won't be able to get to 88 miles an hour.
Oh, God.
Wrecking that DeLorean every which way.
I just want to apologize to every Canadian listener out there right now.
Yes.
We love Michael J. Fox. Ralph's an
Yeah.
asshole.
We love Marilyn Manson too.
If you are listening in Canada, please leave a comment so that we know.
Yeah.
If
know-
if our
know
broadcast
Canadians
actually
are-
goes that far, you know.
We know Canadians are nice, so please leave a comment.
Hey, that was a good podcast, eh?
Hey, that was a good
Not
podcast,
bad, eh?
Let's go hunting and flush our toilets because it'll all end up in America. Fuck you, America.
But I kind of wanted your guys' opinion about who should play. Let me explain to if there's anyone out there that doesn't know who Charles Manson is. 60s wacko dude, helter skelter.
The Manson family.
Manson fan. He was a cult leader.
A lot of
He didn't murder
celebrities-
anybody.
He
Yeah.
didn't. No.
Right. He made people
made
do
other
it,
people too.
under the power of the devil.
And there's a lot of celebrities that used to hang out.
Yeah,
with him, too. Denny. What the hell's his name?
From the Beach Boys.
Wilson. Yeah.
Denny and Mike Wills,
Yeah.
both brothers from the Beach
And
Boys.
he recorded his.
The
first
Beatles
song.
also knew Charles Manson. It's kind of
Yeah.
speculative about like how much they knew him, but they wrote the song "Helter Skelter." It's a little weird.
Well, he
hung out with a
obsessed
lot of
with that
celebrities.
song. Yeah, he thought that song was about him, Helter Skelter.
Right, he read into that song, thought that it was talking about a rebellion, and then like a worldwide rebellion. And that's really what his whole cult was about. I guess he thought he was God, and he was going to start this new rebellion, an uprising, Helter Skelter. And it had something to do with
Race
black.
war.
It had
It was
something,
a race
right? It was a
war.
race war.
Yeah, he hated black people, and that's what he killed them people in Hollywood. The actress, what was her name? She was pregnant.
Sharon Tate.
She was Sharon
Fucking
Tate. Yeah.
beautiful. Roman Polanski's wife.
Yeah,
Roman Polanski, the director.
When he killed her, he left the Black Panther's mark on the wall to make it look like it was a Black Panther crime or something.
And he also wrote Helter Skelter on the wall, too.
Yeah, in blood, in her
In
blood.
her blood. They fucking cut her baby. She was like 7 months pregnant.
Yeah, it was a full-fledged pregnancy.
They cut the, not him, he wasn't there as far as I know. It was just these fucking bitches who worshipped him as part of the cult, and they shaved their heads for him and shit. They were kind of like the start of the neo-Nazi movement in a way.
Yeah, the one chick just died a couple of years ago.
Right.
actually.
It was like last year.
Yeah, was it last year? Yeah. And
Um,
he's up for parole.
He'll never get out.
He just got married to some chick.
He's married
Yeah,
now?
some
He
chick
got
married him in
prison?
jail, in prison.
That's
Yeah.
so fucked up you can get married in prison.
She never.
He's a fucking celebrity, whether
Yeah,
you,
he is.
you know
If
whether
he was
you,
out right now, he'd be on Dancing with the Stars.
Wow, I don't know about that. He would be in the news for sure. I don't know
Dancing
about
with Charlie.
That's it. Whack!
This is the dude that got, a lot of people probably know him as the guy with that carved the swastika in his forehead.
Right.
But he didn't do that until he was in prison.
Right.
But yeah, he told. So you guys ever hear the story of Roman Polanski? So like real quick, that's a really bizarre story. Roman Polanski is a director. What's he famous for? He made a really big movie, Apocalypse Now.
I think so.
I think it was a war movie. But he also made a couple other movies, but he was huge back in the 70s. Didn't he make Rosemary's Baby? Roman Polanski.
I think so, yes.
In the movie, you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Fucked up movie about this bitch having the devil's spawn. Yeah, weird movie. You ever see it?
Yeah.
Fucked up movie.
Yeah.
He wrote that movie, he wrote a couple other big movies, but he
was married to Sharon Tate.
Right. He got in trouble for having sex with a 14-year-old
With underage.
14,
Right.
dude.
He did the pianist.
He
Chinatown?
drugged her. He roofied her ass.
Good for him.
Ralph was kidding.
I'm kidding. That's awful.
In a hot tub, he roofied the bitch.
The Nerd Eye Council does not
We did
condone
not, right,
roofing underage kids.
We like hot tubs, but not roofing underage kids in a hot
I'm
tub.
just joking. That's fucked up.
And
Fuck you,
had sex
Polanski.
with her and was like gonna be brought upon charges. Like this girl like told everyone and shit. And so he left the country to get out of it and was living like for 25 years or something. I don't even know if he's allowed back yet.
He did the piano.
I know he did. There's a weird fucking loophole that you can make American movies but not have to.
I think he died.
Did he die?
I think so.
Maybe he's dead.
I think it was ruled a suicide.
Oh, I don't know. But he's a weird dude, man. He's interesting.
Yeah, there's a bunch of these charges going to be brought up against
for
him and all this
decades,
stuff,
he just lived
and then he was like found hanging.
Wow.
Fucker.
He hung himself or something like that. I think I remember seeing it on the news, on CNN or something.
Speaking of news, OJ's getting out soon.
I thought OJ was out. They put him.
He was up for parole, I think, in the end of June.
Yeah,
I
know.
thought.
Did he get out? No,
Or is it July?
July. It's in July.
It's the end of July. Okay.
What's he back in jail for? Not
He's
paying?
been-
Remember
Not
for
paying?
no.
He
Has it been 10 years?
It's been 10 years. He robbed his fucking Nevada.
That's
for the
right.
memorabilia.
That's right.
He gets
yeah.
off of fucking murder, and yet he goes to jail for like armed robbery.
Hey man, I'm broke too. I'm not ruling anything out.
But he's got. They said that he still.
I'm gonna dress up like Thor and go around with me.
Still gets his pension from the NFL, and he
Okay.
cashes in something that's like $2.6 million, and he's 70 years old. So they said that he'll be.
Wait. The NFL has pensions?
Yeah, he still has his
Fuck
pension
that.
from the NFL.
Fuck that. You make $12 million a year. You don't need a pension plan.
Yeah, he's got
How
one.
fucked up is this?
I think
world we live
that's
in?
something that they set up recently though.
Yeah.
That was a few
fucking
years
bogus.
ago.
They ought.
Well,
I'm
I
sorry,
think
they
I-
ought to exclude his.
Well,
ass.
no. I think it was part of. Here we go, kind of going off the beaten path here, but I think it was part of the concussion lawsuit that former NFL players were filed against the NFL for knowing that they had concussions, but they just gave them a
I feel
pill.
a rant's coming on.
And so part of this lawsuit was they set up this pension plan for all these other ex-NFL players to help pay for like medical expenses and all this stuff. Do it. Yes. Do it.
I feel the car going.
Why are you tuning green, Jeremy?
We just took a sharp left, people.
Let the hate flow.
I agree, though. I
You
don't
wouldn't
think-
like me when I'm angry.
I mean,
about to
I
get
don't
angry.
think the NFL players should be getting paid as much as
That's
they are.
fucking bullshit,
I mean,
people.
you got the Marines, the Army, Navy,
and they can't even get
Well,
a fucking treatment.
are getting their
Well-
fucking lives in jeopardy.
Well, let's also say this: they weren't getting the people back in like the 70s and 80s weren't getting paid like the people
Yeah,
like today.
right.
You know, Butkus wasn't getting paid what like Des Bryant is getting paid.
That's why they did. That's
You
why
know.
they did movies and shit. I mean, even Dick
Right.
Bucket. You know what I was?
Terry Bradshaw, he did that one movie. What was it called?
He did a lot of movies.
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw did a lot of movies.
Dick Butkus. You know what I just saw him in? You know, you guys all know. Famously, Jeremy has 4 channels on his television. I just watched. They had a
fucking
fucking
watch 4
listen.
channels at one time on your television.
Listen to
Big
this.
baller.
I watched with my kids My Two Dads Marathon last Saturday.
My two dads.
Are you kidding me?
I know what you're talking
I don't know
about.
what you're talking about.
You remember?
It was on what's the channel? Channel 46
Paul Reiser,
or something.
Paul Reiser from Mad About Me, from many things. Paul Reiser, Mad About Me. You don't know Mad About Me?
No, it was Mad About You.
Mad About You.
Yeah.
Yes. That.
Oh, yeah.
Mad About You, baby.
Yeah.
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt, yeah.
So he's one of the dads. It's so gay. It's so gay.
Wait a minute. This is a new version.
No, dude, he's in. You just don't remember Paul Reiser was in it. Remember they had a daughter, right? We're talking about the same show.
Is that
One-
with Belky?
Wait a minute. When
No,
wait.
But
When,
same era.
Okay.
We're
wait,
talking.
when did this come
we're
out?
talking late '80s, early '90s.
Okay, no, I'm thinking of another show.
Probably, Probably
Wrong
about.
song?
No.
If I had to guess, I'm actually pretty good at this. Probably 1990 is when.
Okay, I'm thinking of another. I'm thinking of an earlier show. I'm talking about it was My Two Sons.
My Two Sons.
That's what I was thinking.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, that's why I don't have two boys.
All right, I know you guys have seen this show. Okay, do you remember? Do you remember the show that came on Step by Step after Full House?
Step by step.
Yes.
Day
Do
by
you remember
day.
that?
Day by day.
And it was about this big family, Suzanne Summers.
And
Right.
Patrick Duffy. Knight Rider.
Step by step. Yeah.
I used to jerk off to that show a lot. Anyways, hey man, Suzanne Summers, what? Don't judge me.
I was like, you're jerking off to Knight Rider. What the fuck?
Well, that's true. Have you ever seen Michael Rider in leather?
Oh, kid.
Knight leather? Oh my god. Patrick Duffy. Oh, in my mouth. No, I know we're digressing here for a moment, but because I'm gonna rant about the fucking NFL. But I know you guys know this show. So one of the daughters was on Step by Step. She was the daughter, and she had two dads. And it was basically like the origin story was like, because I don't really remember the origin story, but the origin story to the show was some reason she didn't have a mom. And she was, these two dads got custody of her.
Are they gay?
But no, that's the weird thing. Because this is pretty, like, gay zone.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
The gay was not okay back then.
This is back when he used to get beat up.
Because Ellen did not come out.
This is
It was not out at this time.
1990 when we all could say faggot.
Because I think she didn't come out till 90.
Such a good
Good
era
times,
back
good
then,
times.
dude. I walk down the street, yo, faggot!
And nobody cared.
Nobody cared, dude. I'd be like, yo, Dad, I'm a faggot. Faggot.
I mean, we didn't have the internet, but
No, but you could say
faggot.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of an even trade.
I mean,
But
we'll give you the internet. You can't say faggot. What's the internet?
That's kind of what happened, dude.
Well, I don't want the
I
internet.
don't want the internet. I don't like saying the F word.
So
Now you can't say
that's why
retard.
Steve doesn't have a computer still. Fuck that, I say whatever I want, faggot. Anyway,
we're just
I
playing.
need you
Faggot
guys.
is a bad word. We don't fuck around. with
Whatever this
faggots.
guy said, sure.
We don't fuck around with faggots.
So remember the daughters
Wait,
from
okay.
Step by Step, because they were all kind of hot in their own way.
Yeah, there was a hot.
There was a brunette, and she was really stupid.
Shit, it's been forever
Then
since
there
I've
was a
seen Step by
tomboy.
Step.
There was the youngest daughter was a real
Wait.
tomboy, and she grew up to be hot. Actually.
Yeah, and then there was
Was
this
it-
prissy little girl that did all the good grades and all that.
Oh,
shit.
she was. Okay, and
Alyssa
then the other one-
Milano
and then
was
the
one of
other
the daughters, I thought?
No, Alyssa Milano was in Who's Your Boss?
Yeah,
Who's the boss?
Right.
Who's your
I could have sworn there was a famous girl in Step by Step.
Do you notice? I just picked up on this. Like, there is a famous girl. She's the one I'm talking about. I don't know her fucking name.
Damn it.
But in the realm of the show, she was like the smart ass one. She was like the
she had a boyish name.
yeah. She wasn't really that pretty, but kind of had a nice body.
Yeah, she was
Al.
Her name was Al.
Yes, Allie, but they called her Al.
Yeah.
That is the daughter on My Two Dads. I was just thinking about it. You never notice how those shows in that era all had like kind of similar names? They're all like three words long.
My
Step by
Two
Step,
Dads,
My
Step
Two
by
Dads.
Step.
What was the one you just said before that? Who's the boss?
Who's
the boss?
Family Matters.
Full House.
Full houses. Oh my God, Uncle Jesse.
Anyways, yeah, she was the chick. Do you guys know the chick I'm talking about yet?
Yeah.
And there was one dude who had like a fucking mullet and a beard, and he was like the sexy guy, like the ladies' man. And he
My
was
Two
one of the
Dads.
dads, and Paul Reiser was the other dad who was like an attorney, and he was like the guy that was like,
They're like two different opposites.
he had his shit together, right? And the other guy didn't work, he kind of didn't have a job. He was an artist.
Yeah.
It's a fucking good show because I watched it all fucking day. But I was amazed by the show by like watching it, dude. Because it's not that old.
Yeah.
But when watching the show, you're like, this is gay as fuck.
Yeah.
This is so homoerotic. It is, dude.
There's a lot of shows I go back and watch. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking, dude? I don't know if it's because I'm growing up or the time has changed or what, but like, you know, watching Full House or watching shit that we used to watch when we were kids, I just watch it and I'm just like, what the fuck,
Right,
dude?
I agree. I get to see a lot of that shit on my old ass TV. Some of these shows are like, oh my god, I forgot about that show.
You get the My Michiana.
Yeah, it's called something. I don't know, where they just play old shit repeatedly. They played My Two Dads all day Saturday. To the point where, and my kids were like in it, dude. They had like never seen. You think about it, dude. There's no shows like that anymore.
No, there's no.
There's no like family-oriented, good-hearted. There's a moral behind each episode sitcoms. They don't exist anymore.
There's no
like,
shows that are like, oh, it's Tuesday night, blah blah blah's coming on, or it's TGIF.
Supernatural is what they watch and shit like that.
Yeah, there's no Roseanne anymore.
Right.
You know, there's a Modern Family.
But that's it. Back in the day, you had Married with Children, you had fucking Roseanne, you had all this shit that was lined up for you every day of the week. You had a fucking. That's why everyone was so fucking fat in the 90s.
Cheers, I love Cheers.
That's what happened. Everyone got so fucking fat in the 90s.
Sitting there watching good-ass TV.
Good-ass TV, eating cheese.
Seinfeld.
Mario was on during the morning.
TGI Friday had some
I didn't do nothing on Friday nights for most of my teenage years.
Dinosaurs.
Not the mama.
Dun, 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 dun,
And that's so
dun, dun,
fucking
dun,
weird that
dun, dun, dun,
if you
dun,
said that to a
TV
bunch
show-
of 20-years, they'd be like,
what?
What? Dinosaurs walked up?
Dinosaurs reminded me of a dinosaur version of Family Matters.
Or Flintstones.
Dude, not even just Friday, but just TV in general.
I loved
in the
Wonder
90s,
Years.
just kicked
I was
ass.
a huge fan of the Wonder
The
Years.
90s had the best fucking
Doogie
shit.
Howser, motherfucker. That show still comes on. Doogie. Do
Doogie.
you remember him ending every episode on his computer?
Yes.
And I watch this shit now, dude, and when he puts his fucking computer on, you're like, what is that technology? Dude, it is so old looking.
Yeah.
I was watching My Two Dads, and they have this really kick-ass studio apartment, like in New York, and there's some cool furniture. There's some cool furniture and shit in the background, but in the corner is Paul Reiser's office.
Okay.
And he's got a computer there, guys, and it looks like, oh my god, it looks like it's like a 12-inch screen, and it's gigantic, and it's like a tube, you know, it's like a tube screen, and it's only like a foot long, and it's like obviously in black and white. He didn't have it on,
Right.
but I was just looking at that
Runs
thing,
like
sitting
DOS.
on, right? It's like DOS system, or it wasn't an iMac. It was even worse than an iMac, whatever it was sitting on his desk. But I was looking at that prop or that computer, like that was state of the art technology
At that time, right.
It's crazy.
Jesus, man.
Now we have phones in our pockets that just blow that fucking machine out of the water.
Right.
It's crazy, man. It's just like, you don't think about it until you see it, and you're like, oh my god, people had televisions and a TV room, or a computer room.
Right. You're right. You know, and like, you know, in order to get on the internet, we didn't have the phones to get on the internet. We always had the most famous sound in the world.
Dial-up?
Right.
Yeah.
We were just talking about like the
You
old,
got mail.
Yeah, right.
how everybody had like a computer room. Like when you had a computer,
Yeah.
it was like
You were
the
the shit.
Yeah, if you had a computer, you know, and you brought your friends over to your house, like, oh yeah, here's our computer. They're like, what? You got a computer
I remember
room?
our first computer we got, big white fucking Windows 95 fucking Microsoft, or it might have been Apple or something. I forget what it was.
Right.
But it was awesome. And trying to watch porn on it was ridiculous because it took like a half hour for it to load up. And you're like, oh, picture. Oh, fuck. Mom's on.
Fucking just clicking on a thumbnail was hard enough.
Right, dude.
A still image.
A floppy disk. You show
There she's in her panties. Oh, I'm getting off to this one.
that reminds me of a Robot Chicken sketch where the Robot Chicken nerd gets transported into the Tron universe. He's like, yes, now I'll have access to all the 80s like boobs and all this stuff. So he like beats the master computer and everything. He's like, yay! Now I get to see uncensored boobs. And he's like. And then, like, a picture pops up. He's like, oh, wait, that's right. This is the 80s.
Yeah. It was not good porn at all. And remember dial-up most of the time at somebody's house? If the fucking phone rang, boom!
You got kicked off.
Damn it! And we didn't usually get back. You didn't usually get back out because It was a process to get back on.
Oh my God,
unplug
right.
the computer cord and plug it into the phone jack or something like that, you know, because it all ran off your phone.
I don't remember whose computer it was. I think it was my grandmother, and she had one phone line, and every fucking time the phone rang.
Yep.
Hated it.
It's an incoming call, and your computer just goes,
yeah.
motherfucker.
And now, here we are. It hasn't been that long, really. Us old motherfuckers talking about, it wasn't that long ago, damn it! But it wasn't really that long ago, and think about it now, nobody's even got a landline. And nobody even has a telephone anymore.
Fucking kids these days don't know what roughing it is.
But I think it's time for that TV to come back. And I'm saying this because I'm telling you guys,
Netflix though.
My kids were like, my daughter was like, Colt, you want to go outside and play? And Colt's like, yeah, after this episode. And then of My Two Dads, and the episode would end and another one would come on, and they'd both be just fucking zoned in on it. And then like 20 minutes later, you know, my daughter would be like, you want to go outside now? And he's like, not yet.
That's how Bella is with Full House.
Yeah, they love that shit holds up.
Yeah.
So why are they not still making
Because nowadays it's stupid. It's not the same kind of. It's all liberal bullshit.
It's the age in which the children are brought up.
Yeah. Now they're gonna be talking about fucking, you know, what the fuck.
One Direction and and all this shit. You know, Disney hasn't fucking helped.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I just thought of this. It's because my kids are 7 and they don't have a cell phone in their hands. Because you couldn't get a 14-year-old to sit down and watch a show like that. Because every time there's a commercial, they're checking out. They're going to social media. I guess that's probably why those TV shows don't hold up, or they're not on TV anymore. But, dude, I'm just saying, those TV shows that were like, the family could sit down and watch them together, and every one of them, as fucked up as they were, there was a moral behind every story.
Like the 9... Like,
and kids may not want to hear this, but you need that shit. You need that shit. And they probably need it more now than ever in this day and age where everybody's working 50 fucking hours in the family and nobody's really raising the kids except for the internet.
Right.
God help our future.
Like, Roseanne was the identity of a white middle class people in the 90s.
And we all relate to
no, not even middle class.
No,
like lower class.
Well, they were us.
Yeah,
I don't know about anybody else, but that was my family. We were lower middle class.
Were lower class. And then Family Matters was like the middle class, upper class black family in Chicago in the 90s. And then you have Full House that was like the ritzy...
Like the
San Francisco.
Yuppie San Francisco liberal family.
Now you realize, you're like, holy shit, what did Danny do as a job? You know, he's a TV host and shit.
Well, he was like what? I've been to LA, and believe me, man, half of everybody in LA is what he is.
Dude, I look back at these TV shows and I'm like, how the fuck did those parents afford that house?
Well, it's just like My Two Dads. The other guy, that he never worked.
Yeah.
I watched 10 episodes. He was a struggling artist, and the other dude was either a banker or a lawyer, and they lived fucking lavishly in New York City.
How the fuck does that?
No, they did. They would.
Well, like, look at Friends.
Prostitution.
Prostitution.
Even Friends, it's like, how the fuck can they afford an apartment when they're always looking for a job?
They're all working at a coffee house.
Yeah, every episode they're working at a coffee house or what the fuck they do?
Were unemployed.
Well,
Joey wasn't an actor.
Monica was working as a chef at several places before she kind of got on her own. Chandler was working at like some data.
We're going down the Friends rabbit hole.
You know, some data collection agency or whatever. You know, talking about the weenus.
Yeah.
You know, and then he eventually, when it got toward the end of the series, he kind of moved up a little bit. Phoebe
wasn't Ross
worked everywhere. She was a masseuse. She was a struggling singer. You know, and kind of other stuff. Ross was a paleontologist.
Yeah.
Worked at
I thought one of them had a good job.
Right, he was a paleontologist, and everybody would make fun of him.
So Ross was supporting everybody. You know, in reality, that's why Ross was the stressed out whiny bitch.
And Joey was bumming off everybody.
Joey had like bits and pieces on like what is it, General Hospital?
Let's be honest, we all thought Joey was porn, didn't we? I did.
But he was the struggling actor, you know, in New York.
Like in the 90s, if you were in your 20s and 30s, was Friends. The way they dress, the way they talk, the way...
Oh, fuck yeah.
And you can watch any of those shows and you will not see one thing, a cell phone. Any other episodes or anything. It's fucking kind of trippy, actually.
Oh, it was a pager?
Yeah, pagers.
There was pagers.
Beepers and shit.
Beepers,
yep. People use payphones.
Oh, that's what brought us here. We were talking about everybody's like, shut the fuck up, I want to hear Jeremy rant! Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
Dick Butkus on My Two Dads was a reoccurring actor. He had like a role. Because there was a diner they hung out at called Kawicki's.
Mm-hmm.
Kawicki's ice cream shop or diner or something like that. And he was Mr. Kawicki. Kawicki or whatever.
Okay.
And it's fucking weird. Like, Dick Butkus always had like this 2 minutes or so of every episode. He kind of had a part, and he'd like interact with the dads and the daughter about something, and he'd always reference he was playing himself, basically a retired football player, and in like one episode he was talking about, why do you think I do this, kid? They were talking about the Paul Reiser character lost his job, and that was the whole episode. Was like, oh God, we're not gonna make it now. Nobody has a job, blah blah blah. And Dick Butkus was like the reason of sanity. He's like, you know. The daughter was freaking out and stuff, and he's like, it'll be alright, kid. He's like, look at me. I used to play professional football. He's like, why do you think I have this now? He's like, football don't cut it, kid. You know, you gotta change careers. And I was like, that's fucking weird. Here's this guy that was a Hall of Fame football player who nobody knows anymore. Young people don't know who Dick
Well, unless you live in Chicago and you're a
Bears
fucking meathead, you know, everything, talking about how players today, Butkus would whip their ass.
Yeah.
He was also in that one TV show as a basketball coach.
I know he did other
principal or something. It was a basketball TV show in the 90s.
Oh.
It was a black girl.
Cooper.
Hanging with
not
hanging with Mr. Cooper.
No, he was there was a black guy, a white guy, and a white girl, and they were all like on a basketball team or something. He was like a coach of it. It came on Saturday mornings or something.
I know the one you're talking about because I can see him in that.
Oh my God!
Coaching uniform.
I can hear the theme song in my head. I can't.
I don't know.
But
yeah, he was.
This is City Guys. What is that? City Guys, maybe? C-I-T-Y.
Oh, you might be right. City something. City Guys. It was about a college?
Yeah, it might have been college. And they'd go to like this diner and shit every once in a while.
It was a feeble attempt to become Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, like C-I-T-Y.
Which is another thing we might get into one of these days on this podcast.
Oh, right.
My love for Saved by the Bell. And I know Wreck-It loves Saved by the Bell. Nate, I'm not sure, but...
I watched
love
it.
Saved by the Bell.
A lot of reasons why these TV shows flop is because of late night
talk shows.
Talk shows, you know. I mean, everybody's got. Back in the 90s, it was what, Jay Leno, Letterman. That was it.
And for a little bit, Arsenio Hall.
And that was it. Now it's like everybody has got a talk show.
Yeah. That's all there is. You're right, because they used to show reruns like at night of those old shows.
And then Carson, you know.
I just showed my son Cheers for the first time on my phone.
Cheers.
I fucking love Cheers. I showed him like a little bit of an episode, and then I showed him like a compilation of Coach.
Oh, Coach. Nobody talks about fucking
Yes.
Coach was brilliant.
Craig T. Nelson.
Brilliant. But then I was also showing him like clips of Woody. He played Woody on Cheers, right?
Who?
Woody played Woody, didn't he?
Yeah. Woody Harrelson.
When he was the young bartender.
Oh, I think so.
Woody?
Yeah.
And he had a girlfriend. I was watching this one episode. Do you remember his girlfriend? He had she was really hot. This blonde-haired girl was his girlfriend, and she was like a church girl. She was very prim and proper, and her name was Kelly.
Oh, really?
Do you remember he made one episode? I watched this one episode, and it was like, holy shit, I was in the Wayback Machine, dude.
Yeah.
It was the episode where he goes to this party that she's having, and he didn't get invited, and he got jealous, so he just shows up. And the whole episode is like he's asking Cliff and Norman, like, you know, how do you like go to a party with all these uppity ups and stuff? And they're like teaching him. Cliff and Norm are teaching him. Yeah, it's easy, Woody. I used to hang with the upper echelon of society, and it's real easy. You know what you got to do? You got to just go in there and play a musical instrument. that was Cliff's advice. He's like, oh, I can play the piano. So he goes to this party uninvited. He basically crashes it, and she's like, what? She talked real like, Woody, what are you doing? And he's like, hey, Kelly, I just came here to show you, like, what a great boyfriend you have. And he's like, he sits down at this piano, and he wrote a song for her. And he's like, I wrote this song to my beautiful girlfriend, and I'm going to play it now for the first time for all of you, all of her friends, and blah, blah, blah. And so he gets on the piano, and he's like, da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, Kelly, 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 Kelly. And the whole song was like, he would say like a line, and he'd rhyme it with Kelly, Kelly, Kelly. It was fucking hilarious. But that character on Cheers, he was brilliant. I grew up watching Woody Harrelson, just like, that guy was probably my favorite comedian when I was younger for years, before he started doing like serious acting and shit. He was just a funny ass dude on a sitcom. A lot of those guys were. You know who my kid liked? Sam Malone.
Ted Diggs.
Yeah, because he's like, that dude's like, oh, he was a pitcher. Cool.
That guy looks like Hellboy.
He got off on the idea of like, oh, he was like a Red Sox. He was like, wow, the Boston Red Sox. Because remember, he used to wear the jacket?
Yeah.
And like, they would name drop Boston Red Sox players and shit. Yeah. And I've actually, not tooting my own horn too much, I've been to Cheers in Boston.
Really?
It's a restaurant. And you go down, in the opening scene, you see making your way in the world today, and you see the little steps, and you see the sign. You do just like that. You walk. There's a sign, and you walk downstairs. The door looks just like it. You open the door, and the only fucking thing that really looks the same
is the bar.
No, the bar don't look the same. It's like a TGIF's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But they have the wooden Indian right by the door. Remember the Indian statue?
Right, yeah.
And when you first walk in, you see that Indian, and you're like, holy fuck. And then you turn and look at the rest of the place, and you're like, whoa. Yeah. It looks like TGIF's.
That's a disappointing.
Yeah, it was very disappointing, actually. Getting hot wings and root beer. And
walk in there, what the fuck is
I walked in like, Norm! What is this place?
Where's Christy Alley? Yo, you on fucking Weight Watchers, you fat slob?
But I loved that show. But how we were tying all that together was the NFL bullshit. I'm not familiar with this. Dick Butkus was the connecting.
We were talking about how football players make too much money.
Pensions.
And pensions. And what was that you were just saying about? Oh, the fucking what about a lawsuit against?
Well, yeah, the bunch of former NFL players who are now suffering numerous ailments, whether it's CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which has led.
You don't have to make shit up, Nate.
which has led to some of these players committing suicide because it
wasn't the drugs or alcohol. That didn't have nothing to do with it.
Well, no, because as research has come out, because of all of these concussions and everything, it's basically turned their brain into mush.
Yeah, and again, the drugs and alcohol didn't have nothing to do with that.
That was part of the lawsuit.
These motherfuckers live their everyday like MTV Cribs.
Look at Jim McMahon, though, man.
Right, but that was part of the lawsuit because they were claiming that when they would get a concussion or whatever, they would just be given pills and then sent right back out on the field, like in the very next play.
I believe that.
With, they said, oh, you got a concussion. Oh, yeah, just take this pill and you're going to be right back out there.
I'm sorry, motherfucker. I'm sorry. You're getting paid $12 million to play a game you love.
Not back then. Not back then. Oh, we're talking about 80s here. Like 70s, 80s players who are now retired, who weren't getting paid like J.J. Watt money.
Yeah, I think by the
$30 million.
I think by the late 80s, they were making millions. Maybe early 90s.
And not only that, but I mean, this has only come out. This has only come out recently. In the past 5 years, the effects of concussions and what is really, I know, this type of stuff.
I just feel like we're going to digress a moment about this subject, because this is something like I've talked to a couple people about. I don't know where I heard this just recently. It might have been on a podcast, but do you guys think football will even exist 50 years from now?
No. I think it will probably be something completely fucking different.
I think it'll be different.
I mean,
the rules will be so fucked.
They're killing my sport. They're killing it.
They'll be wearing flags. They'll be doing flag football.
They're just sissifying the fuck out of football. They are. I'm sorry. That's my stance. That's how I fucking feel. I know. Look, when I played football, I was a fucking teenager, man. Nobody had to sit me down and say to me, hey, this is dangerous. I fucking knew that. I knew when I hit somebody so hard that my ears went, and I saw black, that's probably not good for your brain. I wasn't a genius back then, but I kind of could put 2 and 2 together. That's just probably not healthy long term. But you're not doing it forever, you know what I mean? And that's the way I excuse it, like, well, I'm not going to play professional football. I'll heal, I'll be alright. Mm-hmm. And, same goes for, like, I guess the same, it's not quite the same, but I guess boxing is same kind of subject.
Well, look at Floyd Mayweather. 21 years.
Look
boxing.
at Ali. I met Ali. I met him. I shook his hand. There wasn't much conversation that went on because he was basically a zombie. Yeah. And that was 20 years ago almost. Yeah. So I have no idea. They were only keeping that dude alive on medications and shit because he
had Parkinson's.
He was in bad shape like 20 years ago. Yeah. But it's not quite the same argument. But you know what, man? You're getting paid ungodly amounts of money. Ungodly amount. I mean, you guys, we take it for granted because we hear numbers and figures all day on television. We don't really realize how much fucking money these people are making to play something they love. I got very little compassion.
Now, if you were going to get paid $20 a game in the NBA, you think people would still play? They love the game so much. LeBron James out of high school, Kobe Bryant out of high school, Kevin Garnett. They're getting paid $20 a game. You think they'd still play?
Well, no. I mean, 82 games. So I mean, that's not much money. But let's put it this way: what if they were making what we make? What if they were making our wages?
An hour?
Would they play? Fuck yes, they would play. Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. 75% of those athletes don't have many other options. Mm-hmm. They don't. Do you want to go work for TA or some flip burgers for the rest of your life? Or would you rather, we'll give you the same amount of money, or you can go play football, or baseball, or basketball. I mean, I guess it's not the same. I guess it's not the same argument in football, or baseball, or basketball.
I would play football or basketball if I was getting paid the same amount I am now. Fuck yeah.
Well, let's just keep it on football for now, for the sake of the argument. But
think of all the training, the practices, everything you have to go through. But you also get 6 months out of the year off. Paid.
Yeah.
Now, are we getting paid the same thing? Okay, hourly, and then we're still getting football.
Well, let's say
benefits.
yearly. We'll say yearly. They're making what we make per year.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Fuck yes, I'd do it, and I'll bet you, if I had to throw a number out there, 85% of every athlete playing the sport of football right now, currently, 85%, if given, hey, football is ending. We're changing everything. Here's your option now. We're going to pay you under $20,000 a year. Or you can go get a job and do whatever you want with your life. You still want to play football? I bet you the number is even higher than 85%.
Or you flip-flop and give the Marines and Army soldiers $25 million a year. See how many people join the Army and Marines and military.
Wow, that's an interesting social experiment.
Take the money that you're getting in the Army and military to the football players and give the football players money to the Marines. And see how many people join the Marines.
That's a really interesting social experiment.
See how many people will join the Marines.
You know what? Honestly, I can squash this argument right now by historically. Guys, it wasn't until like the 80s or 90s that athletes became solely athletes. I was just reading this article on Sports Illustrated about how baseball cards, on the backside, baseball cards used to have information, like personal information.
Yeah.
About the athlete. And a lot of them would like say things like, during the off season, he golfs, or during the off season he runs a landscaping business.
Well, right, yeah. They'll play a season, and then right afterwards, some of them would go and sell cars.
A lot.
I always thought that was normal. You know what I mean? Because I remember I did have this one basketball card or one football card, and he was a fucking truck driver outside of the season.
Isn't that fucking crazy now to think about that?
Cool. He's a truck driver, but now it's like, holy fuck, dude! Yeah.
Yeah, and they play, Yeah. They didn't play for the money.
Can you imagine that? We're working where we work, and then all of a sudden Jay Cutler strolls in after taking a load somewhere.
Right.
You know, how's that load going? Well, whatever.
Hey, your scale looks good. Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's how... Yeah, I remember that, though.
So, yeah, I think that's a pretty easily answered question, and really that brings us full circle to it's nobody's fault but the fans. We're the motherfuckers that pay...
Publicity.
We're the motherfuckers that pay $100 for a jersey, or $150 for the shoes that they wear, or we pay $100 for a fucking seat. Because when those dudes were playing back in the day, and they had a second job, and they weren't making millions... You could go see a baseball game for a couple bucks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also see it like this. If they...
Hey, Kaminsky, you can still go for a few dollars.
Right.
Like $6 nosebleed? What the fuck? I ain't got nothing to do with that.
There's no... You can sit wherever you want after the third inning.
Dude, I was going to say, we could go right now.
Yeah.
And go to the stadium.
And just out of respect, wait to the third inning, because you really can do it by the first inning.
Right.
But out of respect.
And there'll be somebody out there, hey, you want to go see the game?
Yeah.
And you take a walk right in. They're giving tickets away.
Yeah, at the Sox.
But I think if the NFL players really, really, really wanted to change things, they could tell the league, we're not going to play until this and this and this and this is done. Mm-hmm. Because as we've seen in the NBA and all this and baseball, players have the power. The fans don't have the power. Ownership doesn't have the power. The players do. The Players Association does.
Yes.
I don't know. We're living in it, and we're going to transition right in the NBA.
I knew you were going to.
Right in the NBA. The players own the fucking league.
Yeah, they do.
They can dictate where they go. Paul George just said. He said, I saw an article that said, I think he was considering the Warriors.
Yeah.
Or he wanted to go to the Warriors, and he's like, the NBA would have boycotted that.
Yeah, they don't do anything to stop it now.
Because it would have been the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers.
You know what, though?
Did Chris Paul get traded to the Lakers?
There was a rumor. It wasn't even a rumor. It was an actual trade proposal.
And the NBA refused it.
Right.
Why they
David Stern was what was he? He was part owner of New Orleans.
Yeah.
He was part owner of New Orleans, and there was the trade. They were going to trade Chris Paul to the Lakers, so he would join Kobe Bryant. I don't even know what New Orleans was going to get in return, and David Stern said no, that's not going to happen.
Do you know?
And it was dead.
My oldest son loves the NBA, loves basketball currently, and do you know that millennials hate David Stern?
Why?
We talk about this all the time about how the NBA was much better in the 90s.
David Stern's a new commissioner now.
No, Adam Silver is.
Oh,
David Stern was the old commissioner.
Adam
Silver took over.
Yeah, he was the racist one, wasn't he?
Well, but he was.
No. You're thinking of Donald Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
No, David Stern, the little
David
short
Stern
guy, he was commissioner
glasses
all throughout the 90s into the 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
He was the one who kept giving Michael Jordan the trophy,
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he was cool. I like him.
Yeah, I like it, exactly.
Yeah, he's cool. Fuck the race guy, though. That guy's an asshole.
But I tried to tell Finn this. I was like, dude, this new commissioner just don't give a fuck about the league.
No, he doesn't.
And Finn's like, oh, fuck. He didn't say fucking, but he's like, David Stern, man, nobody likes David Stern. I said, who? He's like, well, me and everybody who like basketball, like my friends and stuff. I'm like, what do you got? I'm like, what problem do you have with David Stern? And he said, he's like, well, we do talk about was basketball better when Jordan played or now? And of course, all the youngsters in their idiot fucking minds they say now.
Oh, fucking loser.
But you know what? You know what they're doing? This needs to be said on this all-important podcast that we do. We need to get it out there to the public. They are imploding the league. They are. They are setting the league up for disaster. There's only one way this whole thing can work out. They want to build, like, super teams. Well, now you're going backwards because when leagues start out, they start out with only a few teams, right? And you basically just have to play each other over and over because that's all there is. That's how the NFL started. That's how baseball started. You know,
and the next city
in the 1800s, there was Detroit, Chicago, New York, and baseball. And each team had each cities had a couple of teams eventually. But I mean, yeah, there wasn't every big city had a team. And so you expand that. We've heard that the league needs to expand that terminology. So what they're doing to the league right now, and the salary cap bullshit, and the way the players are ruling, they're basically making their own rules for themselves. This is what they're doing. They're setting their own pay. They're making their own rules. And the league is like, yeah, it's working. So fuck it, just do it. We're making more money off of it. Okay. So what the league is doing, the Players Association basically is doing,
right,
is allowing anybody to be traded to anybody with the salary cap thing.
Well, yeah, look at Boston. Mm-hmm. Boston wanted Gordon Hayward. They got Gordon Hayward, but they had to set salary, so they just sent a bunch of people packing just to get this one guy.
Right.
Because the coach of the Celtics was his coach at Butler.
Right.
And so, the Butler connection. So they sent a bunch of people packing just to get this guy.
I mean, motherfucker, you even got guys, you got dads of college players.
God, LeVar
yeah,
Ball,
you got
dude.
dads of college players telling the league where my son is going to play.
And
the league is like, oh, okay.
That's why you're
right.
What?
David Stern would be like, fuck you. If your son wants to play basketball, he can come play in my league for whoever drafted, or he can flip fucking burgers for the rest of his life.
David Stern made sure that it was all fair and equal. Because, they could have fucking... When have you ever seen Michael Jordan up for a trade, or Scottie Pippen besides the day he got drafted, or even Magic? No one wanted to get traded, and if they did want to get traded, they wouldn't say shit like they do now all over the fucking news. You'd wait till next season when they find out, Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan got traded to the fucking Lakers.
Yeah, there's no loyalty anymore.
Nobody keeps things hush-hush anymore like they used to. Or I remember watching basketball back in the day, like, holy shit, when did this guy get to the fucking Pistons? Or when did this guy get to the Lakers or something, I'm like, you got traded last year? Grant Hill. When Grant Hill went to the Magic, I was like, holy fuck, I didn't know Grant Hill went to the Magic.
I didn't know that until now.
Oh, yeah, he's on the Magic. After he got traded to the...
I know he bounced around after Detroit, but
yeah.
They all do.
But now it's all over SportsCenter, all over every fucking thing.
Dude, how many NBA, think about this, how many current NBA players have played a decade for one team? Fuck. You'd have trouble finding a couple of guys, I think.
For a decade?
For a 10-year span.
Kobe
did.
Kobe was I think he was the... Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. He was an exception.
Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, Ginobili played there.
That's
Parker.
San Antonio, though, because those guys are legit fucking old school. Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk. Yeah, Dirk.
But then he bounced around, too, at the end.
No, wait.
He's still playing.
He's still with the Mavericks.
Is he on the Mavericks?
He's still with the Mavericks.
I thought he got traded.
No trade clause.
I thought he got traded.
No, he's been with the Mavericks since the beginning, dude.
I always liked that dude.
And then you had...
I don't know if Kevin Garnett played 10 years in Minnesota.
Probably close.
It was either close, and then he got traded to Boston and formed the Big Three in Boston.
I'm just saying it don't happen anymore.
No, it really doesn't.
Because there's no loyalty. They fucking go where the money
because they want to play with their buddies.
Right.
And LeBron James was the first domino to fall, and it started all of this.
And I told you guys.
I think it started.
LeBron James started this.
Yeah, you're talking about...
No, I'm talking about Boston.
No. Boston made the trade. The Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce didn't conspire to say, let's bring us all together. Boston identified Kevin Garnett. He wasn't doing anything in Minnesota.
Yeah,
so it's like, you know what? We're going to take Kevin Garnett and we're going to form this little core here. And LeBron left Cleveland because he could not get past Boston.
Yeah.
And he made a big-ass fucking news conference and all this bullshit.
Right, and all this stuff. He was backdoor tweeting Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And to this day, I'm still pissed about this fucking around with other teams when he knew where he was going. And obviously, the Bulls were in on this too. And he took meetings with the Bulls and all this stuff. I'm like, oh shit, are we going to get LeBron James? And then he comes out, oh yeah, we're going to go to Miami. And then it comes out later that,
fuck him, I don't want him in a Bulls uniform. I do not want him in a Bulls uniform. I don't care. All of you sellouts, I don't care. Whoever you are. And if you guys say fuck, I'd take him. I don't care. I don't want to see LeBron wear it.
Dude, I would take anybody that is at least an A-lister over LeBron James.
I would too.
You give me Blake Griffin over fucking LeBron James.
Sorry, I can't stand
I cannot stand him. He's got no loyalty.
I would have said Kevin Durant, but then Kevin Durant went to Golden State, so
Kevin Durant's
too.
kind of a sell.
Russell Westbrook is the only loyal dude now.
Westbrook, yeah.
He won't stay there, though.
And he might, though. They just picked up Paul George.
Yeah.
Unless they start winning or contending.
If they make it to the NBA Finals, not the Western Conference Finals, if they make it to the NBA Finals, which means you beat the Warriors.
And just to show, again, to like fucking emphasize how spoiled these fucking new age athletes are. If you made it to the NBA or the Western Conference Finals, you didn't leave your team. You said fucking next year. Next year we're going to get them.
Yeah, look at the New York Knicks.
You don't make it.
The same team throughout the 90s. They lost every year.
They lived in the Bulls' shadow until the Bulls weren't there, and then they won.
No, they went to the finals.
They won championships?
No, Knicks never won a final.
Yeah, they did. Motherfucker, they won two.
I could bet you $20.
The Rockets?
The Knicks? Knicks never won a championship. Patrick Ewing never won a championship, NBA.
No, you're right. They got there twice. You're right.
The Spurs beat them out.
That's right.
And the Lakers.
And the Lakers beat them out. That was a good series.
Well, when Jordan was retired the first time.
Yeah, because the Lakers beat him in 2003. That's when Shaq did that crazy dunk on Dunleavy and wrapped his legs around him. And Dunleavy picked up the ball and threw it at the back of his head.
Yeah, I don't know. I told you guys before, the vice president of the Players League is now LeBron.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's got a lot of authority in the NBA, unfortunately. And what I was just getting at with the NBA is basically they're setting themselves up for destruction. Because 10, 20 years from now, there's going to be 4 teams that make it to the finals every year.
It's already
pretty much there.
3 years in a row, the same teams made it to the finals.
Right, and you're going to have a league that is so fucking watered down that teams are going to start disappearing. That's just what happens in sports. If you don't have enough revenue, if nobody's buying that jersey, nobody's showing up to the...
I don't know. There's a lot of dedication towards teams, though.
It also goes...
How many Bucks fans do you know?
We live a lot more when fucking Derrick Rose goes to the Bucks.
We live close to Milwaukee. I don't know a single... I've never seen a single motherfucker come into the place where I work wearing a Milwaukee Bucks.
Antetokounmpo, I mean, he's the real deal.
Yeah. Is that a joke?
No, he's legit. Okay. They call him the Greek Freak for a reason. I mean, this guy's legit.
It was what he said.
No. That's not tongue in cheek. I mean, that he's.
Right.
I think he's only 24 or something. I mean, he's really young. And he's very athletic, very long wingspan and everything. He plays the 3, I want to say.
As long as we're drifted on the subject of other sports and whatnot, I was just reading an article before the podcast about Judge from the...
Aaron Judge.
Jesus, that guy's a beast. Did you guys watch the All-Star game at all?
Did he hit the home run?
I didn't watch all of it, but I saw him come up to bat, and I have never seen the guy.
That guy's got power.
Oh my God,
monster
dude,
power.
He's got a presence. Like, I can't remember a guy since maybe Mark McGuire that had this presence, like where when he came out of the fucking dugout with a bat in his hand, everybody was on their feet.
No,
like
it was Ken Griffey Jr. that had the presence.
him too.
I
That's the
think so.
same era. I agree.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey. Everybody was on their feet when Ken Griffey came up to bat. This dude, I'd heard about him, right? My kid was like, "Oh, Judge," and I'm like, I haven't even really heard. I've heard a little bit about the guy. Jesus, he's a monster. He's 6'7", 285, and he's just built. He looks like Derek Jeter, but was on steroids. And apparently, they showed him on the All-Star game in the dugout for kind of just a second, like 5 seconds, and he's such a, like, I instantly liked the guy. He's real humble. Like, they tried to interview him, and he was kind of like not looking at the camera and just wanted to like get past the camera because he was on deck.
Mm-hmm.
And the article is all about how humble he is in Sports Illustrated. Dude's refusing to buy an apartment. He lives in a hotel this season in New York.
Really?
He came from a small town in California, I guess. His high school was rather small. And they were talking about like what a fucking like men among children he was on this team that he played for in this small high school. And now he's living in New York City at a fucking Hilton or something. And
Big Yankee.
Yeah, and he refuses to buy. He's making millions. The whole fucking city of
That's what
New
the Yankees used to do, though, right? They used to live in hotels like Hilton's and shit like that.
Back in the
day, like not A-Rod, but or Roger Maris and
Yeah,
Mickey
we're
Mantle
talking,
and shit.
right.
They used to live in hotels.
50s and
DiMaggio
60s, 40s.
Until DiMaggio, I think, was when that guy kind of became famous and made money, and I'm sure
money because he was fucking Marilyn Monroe.
Right, I'm sure he ended up buying a really nice house. But the guy did say, I'm waiting till next year before he is going to buy a fucking kick-ass house. But I'm telling you guys, when you see this guy come up to bat for the first time, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, this guy has a presence. Like, he could be the future of baseball.
Well,
He's charming. He's just got a...
So, speaking of baseball, do you think Sammy Sosa or Mark McGuire would ever get in the Hall of Fame? Regardless,
I don't think. My opinion is, I don't think they deserve to be.
Because if they don't
That's
get
just
in,
my
then
opinion.
that means if they don't get in, then that means Barry Bonds don't get in, A-Rod don't get in.
Yeah, fuck Barry Bonds. See, the whole conversation changes when you throw Barry Bonds in.
Who else?
I can't stand Barry Bonds.
Who else won't
Yeah, I
get
can't
in?
either.
A lot of good.
Roger Clemens,
Roger Clemens, maybe.
maybe.
A lot of good
See,
players.
Clemens is kind of... And Bonds, too, I
We
think.
could even say Ken Griffey Jr. at one point, dude, because he just fucking ripped in one.
No,
Or even Frank
Griffey
Thomas.
Jr. got in.
Yeah, Griffey got in last year. I'm just saying, you could even say he might not even get in because he was, if they would have tested his ass, dude, I'm
Frank
sure.
was probably on.
Frank
some
Thomas,
shit. Yeah.
he's a Hall of Famer. But
I don't know about Junior, though. I don't know about Ken Griffey. I don't know if he was on anything.
I don't know. He was kind of skinny though for a while.
He just had a fucking swing. He was an athlete. And by the way, that Judge dude is an outfielder. He's
Really?
a right fielder. I
He's
thought
that tall and he's an outfielder.
Yeah, I thought he was a first baseman for sure, but apparently he's a fucking good fielder too. What were we just saying about? I don't think specifically Sosa and McGuire, in my opinion, especially Sosa, because I don't think Sosa was that good until he got on roids. McGuire, you might be
with the fake bat.
McGuire, you might be able to make an argument with that he was pretty fucking good. Bonds was pretty fucking good in his early years before the roids. Because if you look at young pictures of Barry Bonds when he was still hitting 25 or 30 home runs, he was a lot
He got
smaller.
that mustache.
Right, he was a lot before the earring came.
Before the earring.
He was a lot skinnier dude, kind of looked like Griffey Jr. And then he just fucking blew up like the Hulk.
I think
Clemens is another one. He had a lot of talent, and then at the end of his career, when he couldn't compete with the young guys, I think that's when he was juicing.
Yeah.
But specifically Sosa, no.
I think that period, they kind of like robbed us from our glory because like every fucking night it was
a ruse, dude.
Yeah,
it was a
like
ruse.
who's gonna get the next home run, Mark McGuire or Sammy Sosa?
It was a money-making scheme.
And then you had Sammy
Yeah.
Sosa doing Pepsi commercials and Mark McGuire doing Coke commercials.
And I think that's the only reason that McGuire and those guys actually finally came forward and said, Yeah, we were.
I think they should
because that kind of I felt like they felt like the league was going. It's okay. Go ahead.
They shouldn't even be
right because they were coming off a strike, a work stoppage.
That's what it comes down to.
And they wanted people to come back
baseball. If you guys
to
remember
baseball.
That.
So what would be better than these two behemoths just knocking things out of the park?
Yeah, wasn't it the year after the strike?
Oh, I think so.
2000.
No, this was 98.
We're all a bunch of idiots that we didn't see right through that. You know what I mean? Nobody really questioned it.
And then what was the slogan that came out of that? Chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah, you're right.
And they had that commercial. They're like,
what did he hit? 72?
62.
Now here's my McGuire hit 70 something.
No,
yes,
the
he
record
did.
was 61.
He broke Maris's record.
Sosa hit 66 the same year that McGuire did more than 66. I believe it was 70 or 72. Look it up. Somebody. I put money on it. It was over 70.
I thought it was 62. First one to beat Roger Maris's record was 62.
Sosa beat him to the record.
No.
McGuire broke it. McGuire broke it.
Well, for a little
because
while,
Maris's,
Sosa was ahead.
they were right there, but McGuire was the first one to break it because Maris's family was there at St. Louis Field. This was, I think, before Busch Stadium. Well, yeah, this was before Busch Stadium. Yeah. Cardinal Field, whatever the fuck they call it back then. But yeah, they were right there when he broke
Roger
it.
Maris, you sellout.
Right, he broke his record.
Like, that dude, I mean, genuinely, was slugging Babe Ruth on no juice.
And Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, they all played on
that's why I think they kind of fucked over Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle.
I can't believe, now that I think about that, like, why would Maris do that?
And then let's fast forward a little bit to Bonds.
Yeah.
Bonds breaking Hank Aaron's record.
Yeah, and then
home run record.
Willie Mays.
Here's my opinion about the records. Those records should just like the Golden State record, there should have to be an asterisk. There should have to be at the very least, if you're going to count it as official record, canon, whatever you want to call it, if it's going to go down in the books, there should be a star, an asterisk next to it that explains, by the way, Golden State lost the finals that year. Or, by the way, we know that these players were on player-enhancing drugs.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that record still considered broken by Mark McGuire, the Roger Maris record?
Yep.
That's fucked up.
It really is.
It's bullshit. And even what you said about all-time home runs, Hank Aaron, that's bullshit. Mm-hmm. That's a huge record.
That's a slap in the face to any real hard-working man with calluses on his fingers saying that you could do a lot better in life if you cheat.
Fucking Hank Aaron probably had a second job.
Probably. Oh, I'm sure.
Probably did. Man.
Fighting back racism, too, at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I've always been a big Hank Aaron fan. I like Hank
Aaron.
Like,
what was it? Remember not Angels in the Outfield, Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
Love Field of Dreams.
How
Love
Joe Jackson and his dad.
Don't get me started on Field of Dreams.
Had all their fucking side jobs because
one of my top 5 favorite movies.
Yeah, they had to do side jobs because obviously they weren't getting paid.
Yeah, the doc. Remember, he was a doctor. The kid that came out, I fucking love that movie. I do. I love that movie. Gives me chills. That's kind of like my dad and me. That's our movie. God bless him.
Speaking of Field of Dreams, the White Sox will soon be the team of dreams.
What?
With you guys.
They traded
Jose Quintana to the Cubs.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, they traded yesterday. They traded. They got 2 of the Cubs' top prospects.
Or 2 rookies. Or
2,
something.
and then 2 more prospects to go along with it.
Fire Reggie. Fire Reggie.
No,
not Reggie Jackson.
No, you're thinking Rick Hahn.
Huh?
You're thinking what? Rick Hahn?
No, the player of head of player operations.
Reggie Miller?
No.
Reggie Miller.
What the fuck is his
Kenny
name?
Williams?
Kenny Williams, not Reggie.
Kenny Lofton.
Sorry.
No, Rick Hahn's making all the moves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Making moves.
The two of the top ones because it came out that they were talking about Kyle Schwarber, about getting Kyle Schwarber. Along with one of the guys, this Eloy Jimenez, which is one of their top prospects, they're saying that he's supposed to be as good, if not better, than Yohan Moncada that they got from Boston.
Yohan Moncada sounds like an Italian dish you get at the
It does, you're right.
Yeah, I want the
think some
Yohan
Moncada
Moncada.
with the side of
Moncada with some Parmesan cheese sprinkled on top with some breadsticks.
heavy on the Parmesan.
And then this Dylan Chase. Yeah, Dylan Chase or something.
Yeah.
This pitcher.
Here's my opinion as a longtime
It's supposed
Sox fan. Okay. Building for the future works on other teams, like the New York Yankees, who are not going anywhere.
Not now.
The Chicago White Sox have been hanging on by a thread as an actual.
Dude, that's what I'm afraid. They're going to drop the White Sox to keep the Cubs as Chicago.
Well, I've for my whole life pretty much I've been afraid they're going to get rid of the White Sox because we don't have a fan base. We really don't. It's just not big. Everybody in that city loves the fucking Cubs.
Well, they're still getting the same amount of attendance,
which is not high, Nate.
Which they were getting last year. I think they said they've only averaged they've lost 500.
You go to a baseball.
They're
game
still coming out to
right
see
now.
this team because they have fully committed to a rebuild.
Yeah.
You know, they've kept going for it and going for it and going for it.
But what if we don't do any? What if we're the fucking worst team in baseball or near the worst for the next 4 to 5 years?
Hey, we get top prospects.
I know, but I just don't know if our franchise can withstand that.
And no, the plan is by year 3, which they're shooting for 2020.
You guys know now we have one of the oldest stadiums in baseball.
Is it?
It's not like top 10, but top.
Oh my god!
It's like top 20 oldest stadiums.
Well, yeah, because they tore down Yankees.
Dodger Stadium. Did Dodgers get a new one?
Either it's new or it's coming. There's new Dodger Stadium. I remember hearing new Dodger.
Yeah, because
Fenway.
I think it's still. I think Dodger Stadium is still old. Oh, Fenway's there still.
Yeah,
no, I know, but
it's the oldest.
Fenway is the older. If Fenway is older.
They replaced Yankee Stadium.
Right.
Wrigley's got to be pretty old then.
Wrigley's old
Wrigley
too.
doesn't have
Wrigley's
any-
getting renovated too, but yeah,
they don't have any intentions of getting
the
rid of it.
main. Yeah, it's a historical monument.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah,
The cell was
that stadium will probably be there even when they do build it.
Dude, no. Fuck the cell. Fuck guaranteed rate field. It's fucking Comiskey Park.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's Comiskey fucking Park.
Thank you, Nate.
even though
I
Comiskey
agree.
was an asshole to his players, but
Comiskey was a piece of shit. I'm not talking about that. The point was, he built a franchise that was on top of the league for years.
yeah, that was before the Cubs, so they were there before the Cubs.
Yep.
Any of you been to the old Comiskey Park before they started?
Unfortunately, I missed it by a year.
No.
I missed it by a year.
I actually got to go to Old Comiskey Park. It was
A lot better.
family day, and we got to go out on the field
Awesome.
and meet the players. And one of the players I got to have my picture taken with was Ozzie Guillen.
Shut the fuck up.
I am not joking. And
Else?
I wish I had proof of that, and we had the picture, but it got lost in
I
the
wish you
front.
had proof too, Nate. Wow.
But I vividly remember that. It
You
was
don't remember.
Ozzie Guillen.
Did you meet other players, or you don't?
I don't remember.
Ozzie
But
Guillen
Ozzie Guillen was the one that stuck out.
That sounds like a conversation you need to have with Dad. I bet Dad remembers.
I remember Ozzie Guillen
Oh,
won the
I'm probably
championship
sure.
and kissed his son on the lips for
Yeah.
like 30 seconds.
Like,
Fuck that. I love
you, son.
I love Ozzie Guillen.
Ozzie Guillen
I love Ozzie.
is
There's a lot of
is a
Ozzie
legend.
haters out there, but I love Ozzie Guillen.
And you know what?
But I thought you were gonna say for a moment leading up to that. I thought you were gonna say Carlton Fisk,
Oh, yeah.
and I was gonna fall to the ground. I'm not worthy.
Or
I
Frank
think
Thomas.
I think Carlton Fisk might have been
He
there.
was.
He wasn't around back then. Not when Nate was a little kid.
Yes, Frank Thomas has been
No,
around.
dude.
Yes, he has.
Well, all right. Yeah, you guys are
Frank
young.
Thomas.
You guys are younger than me. I was.
Your teenage years was in the 90s or in the 70s.
Fuck you.
Our teenage years was in the 90s and 2000s.
Thank you. I'm not that
I'm
old.
still waiting for the butterfly collar to come back. It was a good look. I don't
The
know why.
butterfly collar.
I don't know why it went away.
I invented the pop collar.
But yeah, I was like 14 or something when Frank Thomas was a rookie. I know that because I collected baseball cards and I had several of his rookie cards.
Which would have made you what? That would have been 7 years
That
old.
would have been about 1990.
Yeah, so yeah, he was playing definitely playing.
Ozzy wasn't playing in '90, wasn't he?
That was around Sammy Sosa period.
Maybe he
too.
was. Maybe that was like the end of his career.
I think so.
Fisk wasn't playing in '90.
No, Fisk wasn't, but Sammy Sosa was on the Sox.
Sosa was on the Sox back then.
So was who was
right
it?
around 90, 89, 90, 91.
Wasn't Barry Larkin on the Sox for a while? Or Kenny Lofton? Not Kenny Lofton.
No, not Kenny Lofton. I don't know about Barry Larkin either. I always remember him as a Cardinal.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, I never got to see. Well, my good friend out in California, he is a huge Sox fan, and he went to a couple of old White Sox games at Old Comiskey, and he also went to Family Day. He's got a story too about Family Day, and he has something signed by Carlton Fisk. His dad did. His dad got it, so it's like gave to him by his dad, but his dad got the autograph from Carlton Fisk, and he was like, and he still tells that story to everybody. But yeah, we are now one of the oldest stadiums. You guys remember when Comiskey was opened? I remember it vividly.
93?
93, I think.
Was it 90 or 91?
New Park came in?
Or 91. I think
it was 91.
When a new park came in across the street?
Yeah, across the street. I remember it vividly.
They had blue walls. I remember thinking that bugged the shit out of me when I was younger. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense.
I remember going to a game. I don't remember what they were playing, but getting out and seeing like the construction.
Oh, really?
Of the stadium. It was almost completed.
Uh-huh.
But you still see the cranes and stuff like that. Old Comiskey Park was still there.
Well, they didn't tear Comiskey down right away.
No, they didn't tear it down right away. I was saying it was the old Comiskey was right there, but they were almost done with the new one. But you still saw the cranes and stuff.
I went to the new park that year they opened. And
I think we did too, yeah.
Nosebleed seats. The one and only time I had ever, or have ever, and the only time I will ever. Because, let me tell you, that is a fucking...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was dodging birds up there, dude.
You're walking up there, and the step starts leaning back a little bit, and you gotta hold on to the seats to pull yourself.
I'm telling you guys, me and my stepdad and a couple other people went, and it was a boring... You know who pitched? Do you guys remember Charlie Huff? Do you remember the lefty sidewinder?
That signs... Yeah, that does sound familiar.
He was a curveball, one of those guys that never threw over 70 miles an hour the whole game.
Yeah,
they don't have those. They don't have those anymore.
Dude, Wilson Alvarez,
yeah,
Blackjack McDowell.
That was in his heyday.
Southside Hitmen.
Yeah. They were a fun team to watch back then. Robin Ventura was in his prime.
Yeah, Ventura.
That's it.
The Smash Brothers, is that what they call them, or something? No, that was Canseco and
Jose
Canseco. Right. They had a name for Frank Thomas and Batman and Robin. That's what it was. Batman and Robin.
It was Thomas and
Ventura.
Oh, and Ventura.
For a couple of seasons, they were slugging it, and then Ventura, who was never too much of a slugger.
No.
Frank Thomas kept hitting home runs.
No, he was more of a Gold Glover.
Have you guys seen the monument they set up outside
for Frank Thomas and Joe Creedy?
I don't know if I saw it.
They get set one up for Joe Creedy. Or no, Paul Konerko. I'm sorry, Paul Konerko
yes.
and Frank Thomas, not Creedy. They should do one.
Well, they now added there's bricks.
Yep.
Of the old Comiskey. It's pretty sweet. I went last year to the Star Wars game and saw it for the first time because my friend in LA was bugging the shit out of me about it because there was a giveaway, a contest going on where you could buy one of the bricks and you get to put on it, like it had to be in good taste, of course, but whatever you fucking wanted, they would stamp it on there, carve it out for you.
How much was a brick?
$400.
Yeah, it was fucking...
My friend got one.
Did he?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it'd be kind of worth it.
You guys want to know what his was?
What?
Because I actually was like, he talked to me when I was like, do this, and he didn't go with my idea. Bastard. But it was pretty cool. And I looked everywhere for it, dude, but there's a lot, and we didn't get there till late, and so I was like after the game in the dark that I was trying to find this brick. It was pointless. It was futile. But he put on his brick, born Sox fan, died Sox fan.
But he's alive still?
But he's alive. I told him, I'm like, dude,
dude,
there's a flaw in your fucking brick. And I'm like, you're alive. And he's like, but when I die, I will have died
a Sox fan.
I'm like, okay, I get it, but still, it's misleading. It's good, but it's a little misleading.
I mean, it's good. But you're still kind of a dick.
There's some fucking good ones, dude. I remember one guy just put 72 for Carlton Fisk, which was cool. I remember that one. I remembered that one. There was some.
You don't pay $400 to put.
There was some clever shit.
Break.
Oh, one guy put the record of the World Series team.
Like the 05 team?
Yeah, it was just the record. It was like added together with the playoff run because I looked at it at first going, what?
Yeah. But they only lost one
playoff game. It
game.
was like 90 something.
And they only lost one playoff game.
That was a fucking fun series.
Wasn't that so much fun to be a
Joe
White Sox
Creedy,
fan?
Paul Konerko, Mark
That was
Burley.
so much
Scott
fun.
Pasednik hitting a home run.
I'll tell you what, dude. As a fan, as a sports
AJ
fan,
Pazinski.
it was
that drop third strike.
Yeah.
And he runs,
yeah.
and everybody's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, he's safe, and I think the next one to come up, BAM!
I remember every moment of that playoff run.
Oh my god.
That was a lot of fun, partly because I never thought I would get to see it.
Dude,
as Jordan, as Bulls, we it was fun, but we expected to win.
Yeah.
As a White Sox fan, we don't. We're always contenders, but we're never really. I wouldn't say we're choke artists. We're not the Cubs, but we never really. In this modern era, we weren't really the team to beat. So that was so much fun for me.
Dude, I bought everything.
I was darn right fucking giddy.
Joe Creedy was my favorite.
My
Sox
God,
player.
dude. But I was talking about that because it's a fucking really cool monument now because they have the two statues and the bricks are built all around the statue.
They got the Frank Thomas statue, I believe, in the fucking stadium because they got Paul Konerko on the outside.
Oh, maybe it's a
And
different.
then Frank Thomas is on the inside, and he's fucking huge, and he's right behind left field.
Yeah.
Field, and those smaller seats back over in that area, like third base. You're looking at third base, kind of kitty corner, third base line, but you're right where left fielder.
Right where is it? The Chicago Comcast Sportsnet.
Yes. Billboard.
That billboard is
yeah,
right over
you're
there.
right. Like if you're sitting down looking at third baseline, that billboard's right up there.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring up the stadium is because, dude, we are so overdue for a new stadium. We are. That stadium kind of sucks.
Well, I mean,
But to prove how little people care about the White Sox, there ain't no talk about a new
there's
stadium.
really nothing.
I mean,
out there.
they're upgrading it every year.
I know,
They're
I know. And it's a lot better, believe me. It's a lot better. I mean, I was a kid, and when I went the first time, I was just excited to sit in the nosebleeds. I didn't really look at the stadium, but it was kind of a piece of shit stadium when they built it. It
There's
really was.
no like attraction there. I mean, Fenway you got the green wall. Wrigley you got the wall, the vines on the wall.
I'm not sure what stadium it is. It's a baseball stadium. It's a new one, but the fucking screen. The screens are all getting huge now in stadiums. Even the Cubs have a big screen now. But they just built this new stadium. I don't know which one it is, but the screen is fucking gigantic. I mean, in comparison to the one at
My
Comiskey,
Dodger Stadium.
we probably have one of the smaller screens in all of
I was
baseball.
just thinking about that.
But
we still got
we-
a box
but-
TV compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
But it's an iconic.
I know,
Yeah.
but they can expand it.
Well,
they
you
can
know,
make it
we
bigger.
They have upgraded the screen though.
Have they?
Yeah, they have upgraded the screen.
It's still rather
It's
small.
I mean it's not a big 120.
Oh, the Dallas Cowboys. They have a huge.
Well, yeah, the
screen.
Cowboys, where it's
And the Cavs.
right in the middle.
The Cavs have a huge screen.
But we also got those
Cavaliers.
things that shoot the fireworks.
Yeah,
out
I
from the top.
love the scoreboard. And if they ever get rid of the scoreboard,
What
I'll
are
be
those
pissed.
things that look
the,
like fucking suckers?
The
Must
exploding
Pinwheels.
The
Pinwheels, yeah.
exploding scoreboard.
Yeah.
Which most kids, you take your kid to go see the Sox game, they don't even get why there's pinwheels on the stadium scoreboard. But
I love it.
anyways, yeah, we have really drifted. But hey, we talked about this is what we do best, and we're gonna start doing this more often.
Right.
Talking about shit that we like. Shit we like, alright? And if you don't like it, well, comment. Leave a comment to tell us, don't do that. Talk about this instead. And we will. And we'll even say you told us to do it. But until then, we're going to kind of branch off into other things that are more fun to talk about, because that's why we decided to do this anyways.
Right.
And I don't mean more fun, because I love the nerdy shit, but yeah, we're gonna broaden the
We're
horizons
gonna
a little
expand. Yep.
Yeah, we can talk about baseball and vacuums.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. We all like a good blow.
What?
Job. What?
Ladies love the long ball, and men love vacuums.
What? The vacuum?
I told you not to interrupt me when I'm cleaning my room.
Duffy, why does your finger smell like shit?
So I had really like an entire podcast that we did not get to. That's all right.
We'll save it for next week.
We'll just save it because I got some good shit, but we'll just save it for next week.
We'll save some of that for next week, and I think next week we will talk about what has been revealed at D23, which is going on currently right now.
Yeah, let's talk about next week because we're gonna try and like throw some stuff out there about the coming podcast.
Right.
We're gonna try and get in this habit
Of letting you know what we're going to talk about next week instead of just playing it by ear.
Because I don't have enough bad habits in my life, so we're gonna make some more habits. Yeah, we're gonna talk next week for sure. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I had kind of on my mind and written down. We're gonna talk a little bit of Star Wars again. We're gonna talk some Matt Reeves in the Batman universe.
Yep.
We're gonna talk a little more DC in the coming.
Fuck DC, bro. I'm getting so tired of DC.
Maybe we won't talk about DC.
Disgusting cock.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, doesn't Valerian come out next week or 2 weeks?
I think it comes out the last Thursday. And
Next week, I think.
It is next week. It's the 21st.
Be next Friday.
so we're going to see.
We're going to do an interview if we can come up with enough funds. We're going to see.
It's not payday week. We ain't going to see it.
Yeah, so
I really want to see this movie.
So
And if we have
so
to
we
wait
will.
a week-
Yeah, so we will either talk about that or we will give you our review of Valerian, City of a Thousand.
Venereal disease.
Venereal disease. City of a Thousand.
City of a Thousand.
What is that slogan? It's not catchy enough.
Right.
Land of 1,000 dances.
All I know is it's going to be fucking beautifully.
Yeah, I can't wait for the
It's
color.
going to be visually.
I'm definitely taking shrooms before I see
Right,
it.
I'm going to definitely.
I'm going to take some acid, eat some shrooms. smoke
There might be
some
some
J.
ideas that come from Valerian.
We're going to be fucked up. Look at them. Hey, the fish is talking, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. If the funds are there, we've been talking about going to see an IMAX movie, and this seems like the one to do
We're
it.
going to go see.
Because it just looks awesome, stunning the way it looks. The story might not be that good. We're told it might not be, but we'll see.
But the visually.
So yeah, either next week we'll have a full podcast coming at you with some of the stuff we just talked about, Matt Reeves, and the Batman news that I just heard about. There's some more Star Wars news that's popping up and coverage of D23. A lot of stuff will be leaking out Sunday, Monday of what happened there. Comic-Con. We didn't even touch fucking Comic-Con.
Oh, it's going to San Diego.
We did not even touch Comic-Con in this podcast.
Is that going on this?
Yeah.
It's already over, yeah.
We'll talk about it next week.
I think it's already done and over.
No!
Isn't it?
It's.
Or is it next
I
week?
thought
It's.
it started.
No, it's next week.
Nate's going
Isn't
to
it?
It's next week, and you want to know why? Is because Conan O'Brien is doing his show from San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, sweet.
So
So it's next week.
Any new trailers or anything?
Well,
Any episode 8 shit?
Well,
We've been talking.
something might drop from D23.
Yeah, we've been talking.
That's the thing. Probably something from Infinity War might drop at D23
we
as well.
might get an Infinity War trailer.
Oh god, that'd be fucking
From
awesome.
from Comic-Con, we might get the Infinity War trailer.
Maybe.
Or at D23. Yeah, there's new shit coming.
We'll
right.
probably get the San Diego Comic-Con.
We are due for the next episode.
Yeah, and there could be a lot coming out from San Diego too. So we might have some more stuff next. When it
So
comes
we'll
back
either
then.
be live at the movie theater, or we got a lot of shit to talk about next week.
Right.
Until next time, same bat channel.
Always bet on black.
Right.